Hello.
Yo, how's it going?
Hey, fellas. Hope you're doing well.
Howdy.
We can't hear you, Corey. You're muted. But hey, Gibbs. I like your. I mean, I think I've seen it before, but it looks good on you. Your suit.
Yeah, I put this. Yeah, it's one of my faves here. I only did this one specifically today because I just changed the profile. So you know what? We might as well make our first politics one in like 2 weeks. Profile picture, saying, you know what I'm saying, for the clips or whatever, or some shit like that.
But yeah, you look really good. It looks sharp, man. I feel like I couldn't pull that particular suit off.
Listen, Prime, you're a good looking man. I see the goatee coming in. You can pull whatever suit off you want. You just got to think you can do it.
Just gotta
well, fair. Okay, maybe. I guess I'm just more low key.
You watch basketball? You remember? I don't know if there's a Houston Rockets like a local announcer. I don't. So you might not even seen it if you did watch basketball. But he'll always wear these crazy suits. And you got a similar like build to him. I think you can pull it off. You just slay it.
It's not about my build. It's about I think it takes a certain flamboyant personality type.
Yeah,
this is what I mean.
I think you just called me gay.
No, absolutely not, Fred.
He doesn't have enough affect going on.
Hope you fellas are doing well. We're only waiting for two others.
I wanted to ask Hunter something. Since he's here, so I guess I didn't even know that this lore about the Charlie Kirk thing with you recently. You said it, I guess, a couple weeks ago, right? I wanted to ask you since then. I mean, you
want to ask him a question? That's dangerous.
Yeah, we're wilding out now, but whatever. I'm just saying. Watch, wouldn't that be crazy if I got swatted right when I asked him something? No, anyway, sorry. I wouldn't even be mad. Anyway, so sorry, we got sidetracked. But I wanted to ask, has it really? Have you noticed the difference? Do you feel like free now that you don't have to go by the avatar, or do you get to because my name, you look it up, it pulls up all my fucking personal info, right? So I've never really had went from one to the other. So I guess with you, has it been a bad visceral reaction? Has it been free? What has been your experience so far?
By going by my name now, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because you already know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it was for sure jarring the first time I saw it because there wasn't really a way to stop it. I don't even know how my information first got out there, but the next day there was a New York Times reporter who was knocking on my door, and I was like, "How the fuck did you get this address?" And he was like, "Yeah, you're Hunter Kozak, you're the guy who asked the question." And so I was willing to do an interview because I knew my information was getting out there already because I had made videos about Charlie. I do debates, pretty open. So I knew that was coming out. So I'm like, I should do an interview, but my name was on the New York Times, on a New York Times article, almost immediately. So it was just
But has it affected you? Have you got problems? I've had a few issues, right? But since mine were always out there.
No. No, I've only gotten I've gotten one person at my door, and that really freaked me the fuck out for sure. But I think
2A.
I don't even know who he was. I had so many reporters at my door that I don't know if I don't know for sure he wasn't a reporter, but he was shifty enough that he just sort of fucked off after I was like, "Who are you? What do you do?" And he was just like, "I'm just bye." Very weird.
Do reporters have? I'm ignorant, but do reporters have credentials, or does a New York Times reporter have a New York Times card?
They never actually showed it. I'm sure. Maybe it was stupid of me not to ask, but yeah, they don't.
I don't actually know if they have credentials. You just got to take their
New York Times reporter.
He looked official, so I was like, all right, coming to my house.
No. When I show up at your house,
the New York Times T-shirt on, and New York Times hat.
Yeah,
New York Times hat. Yeah, I'll have a shoe with little gum on the bottom, right? And I'm like, yeah,
you're a gumshoe, yeah.
Yeah.
But I also wouldn't. Also, though, I wouldn't know. So you're saying ask for credentials. I also wouldn't know what the credentials look like. It would just look official to me.
Yeah, I don't know what a police badge actually looks like.
It made a ton of sense. There was I forget what news agency it was. There were 20 reporters that in the following like 2 or 3 days. But like there was a couple times there was just like a car in the middle of my street that just like had, you know, CNBC on the side of it, and I was like, all right, this is definitely that's probably
or they really want you. They're really trying to
I'm like, at this point, if you've gone through that much work, I'll let you.
High value target hunter.
You deserve to get your mark.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sorry that like, you know, that like the whole circus, and it was just like a matter of like coincidence, a matter of like dumb timing. That happened to you. So
I think it just proves the world is smaller than you think too, because it's like, like, you know, I don't know, like, oh, we're gonna go to the debate brother thing, and you're like, you know, you're not thinking of you, but then it's like, oh, well, how big really is the debate?
Well, no,
you know,
he's politically active, and he would be the type to ask a question,
right? Like, because
well, that's what I'm saying, like.
Because even at the event, there were a few people that I knew, right? There was shit, who was it? It was one of the TikTok debaters. Shit, I forgot his name. But there was a big TikTok debater that I
like Dean or Parker, or
it's Parker. Parker was at the UVU thing. So like I didn't talk to him at the event, but like there were, you know, it attracts those kinds of people who are interested in debate. I would say the big coincidence is that it was my university. Like I go there.
That's fair.
So that's
there. What do you mean? Like, are you doing
I'm a student there.
PhD work? He loiters there. This is a
no, I'm getting.
He just hangs out. He's a townie. He's just like, I'm totally here. I totally go here, guys.
Yeah, but it is
more prime.
It's fucking weird because I like, you know, I mean, I was just there 3 hours ago, and you know, I stopped by that you know courtyard every day.
Well, two things. I mean, like
that's surreal
because it sounds like you're older, or maybe I'm incorrect about.
I dropped out of college for like 5 years and then decided to go back. So
okay,
it's good though.
I'm getting a dual degree, but yeah, just 2 bachelors. So
sure,
just 2 bachelors as opposed to those losers with 3 or 4.
Yeah, well, they were like, "You're getting your PhD." I'm like, no. I mean, I am graduating at the end of this semester, but I'm for my first degree, and then I'm going to stick around for another year.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So then the second question I want to ask is something that like I went over with Lactoid, you know, as soon as the assassination happened. What about the quad or courtyard or whatever the fuck it's called, right? Like my understanding
the Jewish menorah.
I wouldn't.
Have you guys seen that?
No, I've not.
I get tagged in too many fucking conspiracies, but like there's like the conspiracies who are like, dude, they like do like an aerial view and it kind of looks like a menorah apparently to them.
God.
So it's like
I know
more proof that Israel's behind it.
No.
Just wait till they find out I'm Jewish, dude. It's all gonna come tumbling down.
My god. Oh god. No.
Half Jewish.
We can't hear you, Lactoid, if you're saying something else. But no, but
I asked if he was Jewish. I just need to know from my files.
Yes, I'm half
got another
Jewish,
spreadsheet from Lactoid,
but it's from my dad, so it probably doesn't count to most people. I know you're going to take extensive notes, so make sure to file that in correctly.
No, but my understanding is that like the courtyard was like completely like redone. Like as soon as like in a few days, they had like renovated the entire courtyard and like basically destroyed the crime scene.
I would be very. Look, I'm so anti-conspiracy. Like I'm. All I'll say is,
there was you because you're a part of one.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, they did do that. I mean, like there was.
So here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say. The concrete where he died was. I did see some construction workers there, and they were like, but it wasn't like completely renovated. It was only that like concrete right there. I don't know what they were trying to do. I would be very surprised if they fucking started reconstructing it during an active crime scene without the FBI.
I mean, knowing about it. Well, the crime scene was dismantled almost immediately. Like almost immediately afterwards, it was gone. Yeah, I don't mean to put this on you. I'm just.
I mean, I went there. The campus was closed for 5 days. It happened on a Wednesday, and on Monday it was back up. And I visited the campus on Monday and Tuesday, and you
can see the video though. Like they did like change that place up.
I really don't see that many different. The only thing is the concrete. There's nothing else changed for sure, but most of it was blockaded up until very recently.
It's like when John F. Kennedy got assassinated. I mean, like he didn't like replace the street. But I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what's normal, what's
that's
usual, and what the FBI allowed and
this
what
is
they
not.
didn't allow.
I can assure you that's not normal. That part I can assure you.
I
is
don't
not
think
normal.
you can assure me that. I don't.
I can absolutely do that.
You're familiar with
FBI
FBI crime scenes?
Yes, actually, I'm familiar with basic police investigations, and no, we don't destroy the crime scene immediately, right? Like what? Hold on. So is this a special investigation?
Whatever. I don't
special
fucking care about
investigation
this.
to destroy the crime scenes. Like that's what they did. I don't have to tell you. That's what happened.
Right. I guess so.
But
I've been pretty. I don't want to fucking talk about the conspiracies. That's
fair.
like
That's fair.
I'm
that's
not
like for
talking
sure
about a conspiracy. I'm not talking about a conspiracy.
Well, you
I'm
are
talking about that later.
saying
I'm not. I didn't say anything about a conspiracy. I'm just saying a fact. The fact is the crime scene was destroyed, right? The fact is they dismantled the tent almost immediately. The fact is like there was a camera that was pointing behind Charlie Kirk's head, right? And we've never, as far as I know, we've never seen that camera angle, and it was taken immediately. Someone like went and like grabbed that immediately. Now, not saying it's a conspiracy. I'm just like saying a bunch of facts. That's it.
I mean, no
I
offense.
want to
that's
point
what
out
conspiracy theorists do.
every
though.
conspiracy theorist does
That's
just
facts.
that. Just so
I
we're
know.
clear. Like,
For real.
I'm not alleging anything happened, but like, isn't it interesting that like nobody came and checked out the grassy knoll? I mean, it's like a little bit odd, right? I mean,
I'm just asking questions here.
I didn't.
Right.
I didn't ask.
I'm just pointing out facts.
did we have the technology at the time?
I didn't
get to the
say
moon.
It was interesting. I'm just listing facts, right?
Yeah,
no,
Okay,
exactly.
hold on.
And
Another
I'm
fact,
just
right?
listing facts that
The
Stanley
sky is
Kubrick
blue, right?
happened.
Right, and there's also blue on the Israeli flag.
Sure.
Coincidence?
No,
I
look,
don't know. I
mean,
don't know.
some more facts here. Biden won the election with a incredible amount of votes, more votes than anybody had ever gotten before in an election marred by changes and differences. I mean, it's a little bit. I'm just saying facts now. I don't.
Interesting.
I'm not saying anything happened. Yeah,
Save it for the debate.
It's a fact. It's a fact. Hey, Biden got a lot of votes and beat Trump's ass, right? That's a fact. We should list that fact again and again. That Trump got his ass beat, right, by Biden, right? Yeah, I will list that fact too. Any other facts you want me to list? Because I'll do it.
One more fact. Wait, one more fact.
Fucking stop with the facts.
I've got one more fact you got to list. And then he came back and won the next election. And now he is ruling like the Emperor from Star Wars. I want you to say that fact as well.
I will say that fact.
Say
yes.
it. Yeah,
Trump
say
came
it.
back. I'll do it
And won the popular vote.
And Trump came back and he spanked
for once in his life.
And won the popular vote.
And won the popular vote.
With a popular mandate from the people of America.
Didn't even go to the Republican
all
debate.
swing states crushed,
which is lost
right,
already. Since.
By Donald Trump
and the popular vote. And the popular vote.
I said the popular vote.
Okay, just making sure
that
the fact is crystal clear. The fact is crystal clear. Though.
And I will
look at his
absolutely,
approval rating right now. I'm just curious.
I will absolutely agree. Yes, he's ruling like the fascist Emperor Palpatine.
Oh,
I agree with that. A bunch of facts that are being listed. Thank you.
You're just mad that you can't shoot electricity from your fingertips. That's why you're mad right now.
They do
you're mad about
that position.
I know you're mad about that.
Palpatine did nothing wrong, for the record.
Hunter, you don't have to answer if you don't want
Can I just get a really
to.
quick mic check, guys? You guys hear me okay?
On your
yeah, we can.
Yeah.
It's good. All right, thanks.
Corey, what was that?
Back down.
Are you like infamous on your campus? As in, like, do you have like the reputation now of like people know you for this thing?
Yeah, I get stopped frequently, but it's a weird thing because like when it's busy, it's like I know that people are looking, but they don't like it's busy enough that like they don't stop. It's a very weird feeling.
That's
I
unfortunate.
know there's eyes on
It's
me.
almost like you're like a hot girl, right? Like all eyes are on you, and every so often someone like
Are you saying I'm not attractive enough for people to be looking at me?
I feel like the
while I'm
attention is
watching
different
that?
in this scenario.
Tell him.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone wanted to ask? To be clear, I didn't bring up any conspiracy theories.
I just want to point out these are your political allies that are coming at you for your looks, Mr. Kozak. Here, your political allies, prime.
No,
so
I appreciate that.
Girl.
Me and Gibbs are gonna finally form the alliance. We've had like 40 debates together, and finally.
I have a feeling tonight's debate is probably not the one where we're going to form an alliance, but it's coming.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, if we don't have anything else, maybe we'll get started much earlier. much earlier than we usually do.
Who are we missing?
Unless
Ali.
do we? Sorry, what were you saying?
I was gonna say we're missing Ali, I believe.
We're missing both Ali and we have another one.
Oh,
Coming,
right,
but
yeah.
like
I
that-
have one
it's-
random thing. If we want.
it's
If you-
baked
did
in
you
his
see
genes to be late. So
Did you
go
see
ahead, Gibbs.
the Trump deal with India today? No more tariffs for India, and they're going to do they're going to stop buying Russian oil.
So I didn't look into it. I did hear there was a deal, so I don't know the details. So I do
Those
apologize.
are the two highlights.
Yeah. Well, what do you want to say about that?
I mean, that's pretty big time because that's pulling apart BRICS. Like it seems like he's pulling out the pieces, like slowly but
Is
surely.
that pulling
And
apart BRICS?
India's
And
India-
destroying
think
our
that's
economy
pulling
while we
apart
do it.
BRICS.
But I'm all
It's not
for
pulling apart BRICS.
Hold on. What does
pulling apart
BRICS stand for?
I can't remember offhand.
We know what it stands
Brazil,
for.
No,
Okay,
Russia,
Brazil, Russia, India, China, South
yeah,
Africa.
and so
Got it.
I mean,
Yes.
Is it
I-
South
um,
Africa?
and
I
they're
got
making
some I had something interesting cross my desk today. You guys want to hear about it? It's really interesting. So I got it from one of the lenders we use when we go to buy a business. Sent me this email. I'm going to read this to you. It's going to be very interesting. It is. We are writing to let you know that the SBA issued a policy notice today that has surprised many of us because it changes a very long-standing rule that has allowed legal permanent residents, aka green card holders, to be owners of businesses that obtain SBA loans. Starting March 1st, the SBA will no longer allow anything other than 100% ownership by U.S. citizens. Legal permanent residents will not be allowed to own any of the business for SBA loan eligibility purposes.
Okay. So I have thoughts about that, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh,
It
yeah,
goes into a
yeah.
bunch of like stuff that, who can apply and if you have a loan in process or anything like that. So
Yeah. So I don't know. And so I'm just going to go off of course, what you just told me because I hadn't heard this previously. But like that sucks. Like we want to be in. At least I thought Republicans would agree with me on this one, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll find out in a second, right? That like we would want to be encouraging businesses to be created, right? Like we want like Republicans talk about how like when these people come over, right, we want them to be productive, right? And what's more productive than forming a business and like creating economic activity? And so like supporting them with like SBA backed loans, which are great. Like they're backed by the Small Business Administration. So there's a government guarantee. So for other people who don't know, right? They're backed by that. That's so, and it helps because it makes the loans less risky because you're starting up or something like that. Like that would be great. Like we want more businesses to start up, right? Like, and if like the thought against it is like quote unquote fraud, but we already have like ways to take care of that. People commit fraud. One, we can claw back the loans, right? And also we can put their asses in jail. Right, that the answer shouldn't be that we take away loans from a sector of these immigrant populations that are trying to be productive. But yeah, your thoughts.
What are your thoughts, Gibbs? You're a business guy.
On this specifically?
Yeah. You're a business guy.
I need more information, but I mean, first hearing of it, right, is just now. I'm a little bit torn. And maybe you could add more like clarification. I don't think I've ever had to deal with the SBA loans myself, but on one hand, I said the meta. I'm happy that it's shrinking government. I don't like my tax dollars going to shit. That's not whatever. So maybe I'm happy about that. But then on the other hand, like
your tax dollars might not be going to that. It's just a back loan. So like private lenders are giving the loans, and then the SBA backs it in case there's a default.
Well, they're insured so the lenders don't lose.
But by backing it, that means that your taxpayers will pay off the loan.
Potentially.
But statistically, this will happen to some percentage of them.
So like at the meta, like there's a lot of like parts of this I'm not a fan of. Oh, my camera's gonna do some shit. But so like I at the highest level, I'm already kind of against it, right? Because I don't like to hand the government in the fucking economy all that much. Then when I come to
tariffs,
so with the SBA loans.
No, yeah, the SBA.
Right. Hold on, but I'm also not like a pure pure libertarian. So when I'm looking at this, right, and I'm going through it, like there's something like the tariffs I think is strategic, you know, like there's examples, etc. But like I think that there are examples where I want the government to enact. And so I'm listening to this and I'm kind of going, okay, well, imagine if I was in another country, because I have like if business visa sales thing, there's other countries. If another country was like, oh, you can't apply for any government assistance or you can't use this system, it just makes it more unfair to you. But at the same time, if I'm pro-American, I'm like, okay, well, it's gonna be best for us to do that, like kind of like pro-American. Don't let these people do it. Give it to American back people first if we're gonna spend the tax dollars. So that makes sense. I think that I mostly like this at a first peel, but like just because it's pro-American,
like taking away the loans, or like the loans?
I think take it away because it specifically goes to all American-owned businesses, which just fits his America First agenda. I think like the reasons I don't like it, or because I think it gives the same reasons I like it here are the same reasons I don't like it overseas, because wouldn't be like, oh, well, they're going to get these advantages I wouldn't get, you know, because they're like local. But like since I'm here, fuck them. I think that's best, and I'll openly admit that. And so I think that, yeah, so like it's the same reason. Like, so like, I mean, I'm just going to be open about that. So I think at a glance, yeah, pro-America, I think that I'm going to say mostly.
Have you done an SBA, Gibbs? Have you done an SBA before?
I have not had to do anything with that. So
I support getting rid of it, by the way.
This is why I'm saying at a first glance, I'm pretty, but like, I could be swayed.
I'm curious what Hunter says about this. But I just want to take a beat to understand like what a pure like amoral and like self-centered character my friend Gibbs is, right? He says literally, it's all my position is about like either it gets me advantage or not. If I was in England and it did the same thing, right? As an immigrant, he'd be against that.
I'll tell you what I would be against it here, though.
Putting Englanders first. The English first.
This is, I guess, this is where I would have a problem with it here. And this is like maybe the only reason I'd have a problem with it here. And it's going to be the same thing. Say Papa Gibbs wanted to bring, like, I don't know, let's say I had like one of my leather people and I wanted to promote him to an owner, and then we wanted to apply for an SBA loan. Now, I've never had to do this, so I don't know why I would do this, but say I wanted to do that, I wouldn't be able to, because now he's a green card, I have a green card holder on it. And so even my own objection is like a low level thing off the top of my head. So like I still, yeah, I think, yeah, exactly what Prime just said. But yeah.
So let's hear from Hunter, then we'll go to Lactoid.
Yeah, sure. I hate taking like a left or right approach to this specific topic because I don't like the moralistic framework. I think that if this makes sense, if this increases GDP, then I'm all about it. I don't think that I think it's fine to have certain privileges that only citizens have access to, but I would bet quite a bit that the Trump administration is simply doing this because they don't like, non-citizens having privileges, and they kind of want to strip them away from it. But if the data points in the other direction, I go, that's fine. If
would you guess there's any data being involved in this decision at all?
No, but that's what I'm. Yeah. So unless you can throw the data to show this, then I'm against the policy. But show me one statistic that this is a good idea, and I'm immediately swayed. But I would bet quite a bit of money that the Trump administration did not do that.
So before
is this from the Trump administration? Sorry,
it must.
Who
be.
implemented this?
The SBA.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also like. I can I just ask one thing? I would like maybe. My knowledge of SBA loans, other than that they exist, is literally almost, I think, zero. Right. So I just maybe y'all can explain the parameters other than what has already been explained for getting an SBA loan, and how it's, because I don't know.
My understanding, and if I'm incorrect, and so I'm not pretending to be an expert.
Sure.
My understanding is that you approach a lender and they say no, you're gonna start a business, right? They say no, but then you can go to SBA, and if you're eligible for requirements, they can go back to the lender and say we'll back this loan. So that it decreases their
Is it sort of like a co-signer type of thing?
It's not quite like that. There's a process. Yeah, there's a process that you go through. You make a determination from the word go whether you're going to go for an SBA or not, because you don't want to muddy the waters. And typically, the reason that you would go for an SBA is the requirements are much lower than a typical business deal, right? Where if I go in and I want to buy Gibbs out, let's say his business is worth $100 million, right? There's no bank on the planet that would give me more than $40 million or whatever to buy it, right? Like I would have to come up with at least 60 to 70 million of my own money through investors or other financing to get that. A bank would only loan a very small part of it. Now, SBA's on the other side of that. SBA will, first of all, they'll only loan up to about 5 million, 6. I've heard of 6 and even a little bit higher, but not by much. They only there's a cap on how much you can borrow. The business, pardon me, the business has to have a very specific proportion of income, for revenue every year. It has to have
like
at least, I think, 3 years of positive cash revenue, so that it can't have lost money significantly within the last 3 years. And there's some other things too, but basically what it allows you to do, allows, like, if I wanted to buy Gibbs business and it was a $5 million business, and I would only have to come up with, say, I could conceivably come up with about $150,000 to $200,000 and buy his business, right? And there would be some other deals, like there would be some. They also want an owner, whoever's selling the business, they want them to have a cash note on it as well, so the owner has an interest in the business continuing to succeed, because they don't get paid out until almost the end of the SBA loan. So let's say that the way the deal would be structured is, if his business was $5 million, right? I would have a loan from him for, say, $500,000. That would be that would be written into the contract, but he wouldn't get even started paying on that until year 10 or year 6 or something like that. And he would get most of his money up. So he would get $4.5 million basically at close. And I would have to come up with, say, $100,000, $200,000, whatever the bank wanted, based on my risk, right? What they assessed that, how much assets I have, how much experience I have running the business, and some other things. There's a calculator for that. And so it allows people who otherwise normally would not be able to buy a successful, functioning, running business. It allows them to buy it. And so I actually haven't really thought too deeply into the motivation behind this. I just find it very interesting.
Is it only acquisitions, or?
No, it's for other things. Like, I'm looking it up now. It's for other things.
Yeah.
But no, I think he just gave an example of a deal.
Yeah, I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying that every deal is structured.
Just to clarify, Grid, because I think you brought this up. Did you mention that it was specifically for property? I think, was that a thing that you mentioned?
No, I mean, it can cover like vehicles, property.
I don't mean the loan itself.
Your
I
business.
meant that text you got.
Right. It's your business, right? I'm sorry?
No, I don't mean the loan itself. I know it can cover a variety of shit. I'm talking about, didn't the message you got say specifically property, though?
No.
Was that, am I wrong about that? Because I think that when we talk about if it is just property, I think that's like, a fight against China because they're buying land or whatever. And I think that's maybe a good thing, maybe not having foreign nationals own land.
It's just SBA.
But it's just SBA as a whole. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even then, I think the same logic goes behind it, right? It's like that you're trying to benefit purely American interests, right? Like, because you could be a green card holder and be like citizen of China or something and working against it. And like, I guess in theory, is like kind of what is the logic that I'm coming.
But you're bringing business to America.
I mean, listen, I'm sympathetic.
Literally hiring people. And like,
well, you're bringing business, but hold on. What he said is the prerequisite is that you wouldn't be able to get this otherwise, right? So it's like, if you're bringing business, then why do you need this? Like, get like help from the government? I want foreign nationals that already have the assets that wouldn't need the loan. I guess is what I'm saying.
It might. Hold on. Sorry. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But before that,
actually, I would love to hear what you think.
Guys. Yeah. Before then, I just want to. So our friend Bam knows what we're talking about. Grid.
You want me to read the email again?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, read it from.
Yeah. All right. So I just got this today. What time did I get it? 4:10 p.m. That's an interesting timing. We are writing to let you know that the SBA issued a policy notice today that has surprised many of us because it changes a very long-standing rule that has allowed legal permanent residents, aka green card holders, to be the owners of businesses that obtain SBA loans. Starting March 1st, the SBA will no longer allow anything other than 100% ownership by U.S. citizens. Legal permanent residents will not be allowed to own any of the business for SBA loan eligibility purposes. And then it goes into if this impacts you or your expected cap table and the bank already has your SBA loan approval number, your loan will be able to close. So if you're in process, you can do it. If your loan is in process and you are an LPR or intend to have some people who are LPRs in your ownership structure and no SBA loan number has yet been obtained by the bank, there may be only a small window of time to obtain SBA approval remaining. If you have any questions or require additional support due to this change, please let us know right away.
Yeah, I think I kind of picked up after a minute. I was like, what are we talking about? And then I picked up on it. I think I'm probably pretty close to where Hunter was speaking. I think I don't have an issue with there being things that are valuable, like benefits of being a citizen of the country, even if there's like some potential trade-off, because technically everything comes with a trade-off. There's always some aspect of, like, if you do want one thing, there's some aspect of some group that could benefit from it, and then there's always that, like, that always has to be something to come into account. I'm not strongly in favor of it, just because I don't know how wide of a net is it going to hit, how many people like this is going to impact, what it's going to do to how it's going to affect the economy. I don't know. Like, I could see data that shows me like, oh, this is way too negative an impact to do. But
so are you for the SBA backed loans, or are you for taking them away from permanent legal residences?
I'm about to say I'm doing backflips on that middle line, and NEP's information can sway.
I think the grace period helps.
Okay,
he didn't say that the first time, but the grace period helps, right? Like, I think that there's a window that you can still use it.
A small window.
And then if you're already
I'm curious, I could imagine that you don't like taking things away from permanent residents.
Absolutely not, and I'll go into detail on that in a second. But I'm gonna let other people in. But I will go back into it. So we'll go to Lacto.
I'm just speaking like, I'm about to say, well, I know we're moving around. I'm just curious if you have do you find value in the thing I'm saying, like the principle of like, oh, there's benefits to being a citizen outside of just voting in federal elections. Like, you think that there's something?
Like the benefits that citizens get. Yeah, like access to like
Medicare.
Yeah, Medicare, a whole bunch of other stuff. Maybe primary.
But
unless if you ask Gibbs, Gibbs is like, the illegal immigrants are taking their health care.
I wanted to say, you beat
me. So
no, wait a minute.
But
I don't think you wouldn't want that.
Yeah, hold on, sorry.
I imagine for health.
Let me be very clear. Sorry. Let me be more clear about that. You're correct. I don't want that. I want to actually erase most of those advantages. I want more people to be access services within our nation. Like, I don't see why we would cripple a particular portion of the population, right? Especially, again, for fucking Republicans who are constantly fucking telling us about how all these people have to be productive, and they're literally trying to do exactly that, right? This is literally the American dream as it's formulated, right? Like in the mythos of what the American dream is, right? As a person coming from a foreign land, having a good idea, starting a business, and employing and becoming successful, right? That's literally the American dream as it's laid out, right?
I'm just speaking to the principle of some things that like citizen benefits. I'm wondering because you said it and then you thought about actually in every example you haven't thought of.
You'll have to list a benefit that like I specifically don't would be against handing over, and most of them probably not actually.
It's not about,
and I'm actually put more extreme on this.
It's not. So I don't think he's. I think he's.
No. Wait a minute. The argument isn't. The argument isn't that like, oh, it would benefit someone else to have it. Everything would benefit someone else to have it. But I'm saying that there should be a value of being a citizen.
I'm not a privileged guy. You think you should understand about me, right? I'm not into privilege.
But you don't. But do you not want people to? Do you not want people that come here to seek citizenship?
I do want them.
And
I
like
see
the
what
way
you're saying.
you have to incentivize that.
I see what you're saying, right? Like you want to incentivize. Well, okay, no, well, okay. So if we are going to have this divide, right? I'm fine with that. Okay, I can change my position on this if right the barrier to becoming a citizen is radically lowered, right? Like if it was easy for those immigrants to come here, right, and do it the quote unquote right way, which is a bullshit statement, but to come here the right way and then become citizens and then access those benefits, well then sure, okay, right. But if instead we have the
I think it
system
just
we have
depends on what
now,
the benefit is.
Why is it a bullshit
'Cause I don't-
statement to say they're coming in the right way?
oh no,
Yeah,
first of all,
I caught that
because
too.
we are on no problem. I'll explain it. Yeah, because this is a country based on stolen, genocided land, right? And then they tell others, right? Oh, hey, you're here illegally,
Well, if there's
right?
no borders,
like literally
then how can it be
hypocrisy
stolen
baked
land?
into the South country, right? And then a country that didn't have these borders previously, right? Now all of a sudden, really enforcing the borders only on one side of the nation, right? The brown, the one where the brown people come from. Interesting, right? So yeah, we were talking about,
Canada?
hey, what's the right way to come here? Like, yeah, I like reject that idea from the beginning, like from the absolute beginning. But like let's not get distracted by that, because you guys don't get distracted by that.
I find that really unhelpful.
I don't care.
rhetoric,
I don't
especially
care.
for the
Don't
left.
get distracted by that, because it's gonna take away from the conversation. I'll be in a whole nother
Okay.
thing.
There's your line.
Helpful. That's a good.
But go ahead.
Yeah, me
Lacto.
and Gibbs finally.
Okay.
Doesn't help the list.
Yeah.
Okay,
No
so
surprise, white people are against
I'll
it.
do a couple. Yeah, first of all, there is blood does not own land. It's not stolen land. Firstly, secondly,
Base.
I actually
He's literally
have
slaughtered those
a
people.
I have
Took their
a
land. Okay.
I have a personal interest in making sure as many immigrants get small business loans as possible, because I am a huge fan and customer of taco trucks, which are significantly better in many situations than other restaurants, because when they don't speak English and it's going to be good. This has consistently been my experience.
What if they speak Chinese, that non-English?
Now,
that make the tacos better?
Well, they're not making tacos then. They're making also good food. Okay, they're
So
making
it's not
also good
English,
food.
though. They're speaking a specific language.
Well, it's any language that I can't understand. The food's probably going to be pretty good, just statistically on my own sample size over the years. So I get the anger. I understand from a personal level. I don't want to limit this, but
no, you don't. Let's not pretend you do.
But
go ahead.
Because I'm principled. I stick to my ethics. No, we shouldn't be giving people government-backed loans. We really shouldn't have the SBA existing to begin with. Honestly, we shouldn't be giving citizens it.
Well, he said it out loud.
If you're suggesting, if you're suggesting, suggesting that we're going to limit it further, okay, I'm on board, because we're limiting it instead of expanding it. But I also I'm sympathetic to this idea that citizens do have, I think, some priority if we're going to have some kind of government programs and free money, which is
membership has its privileges.
So some kind of loans.
Then you
I think
don't allow people to be members.
I think it's reasonable for that to be the case. No, I want to just get rid of it, just to be clear. But if we're going to have it, I think it does make sense to limit it to citizens. And I don't think that's what's next, right? We're going to start giving SBA loans to. What about illegal immigrants? I mean, why not?
Yeah, actually, we should.
I knew you would agree to that. I knew you would agree to that. So I threw that out there.
Wait, hold on. A government-backed loan to someone that we do not know their identity of?
We absolutely do know their identity.
Oh, wait, one more point. I actually have one more quick point in this.
Most of them.
I forgot to add this on. One more quick point. If they're citizens are probably less likely to send the money that they're making off the small business overseas via remittances. So more of that money stays in America.
But otherwise, I do appreciate your position for not give this position. It's discussing and immoral, and just what we can really expect from them. But your position, at the very least, is simply that you're against like government subsidies in general, right? And so like you want to take away all of them, and it's not particularly targeted. And what you're saying here is like, okay, like I just want to shrink this program in any way possible, and hopefully one day get rid of it altogether. And so I can at least respect that, even though I disagree with it. It's nonsense.
I am personally suffering too.
We're going to be pedantic about it.
Yeah, okay.
Lactoid is not a subsidy.
I want to be really clear.
Everyone, hold on.
By the way,
Lactoid's being oppressed right now.
No, real quick. A government-backed loan is. I think I'm pretty sure a government-backed loan is a subsidy of a kind. I understand it's not like it's not specific. It's not like expressly a subsidy, but it is because you are giving.
Yeah,
there's a reason why.
You get a slightly better interest
rate.
rate.
Squint our eyes and call it a subsidy.
Well, sure, yeah, you get a better interest rate, but like again, that's the reason why you're getting a better interest rate is because that loan is backed by the taxpayers. And I also want to say one more thing that I forgot, and this is a criticism I think of Hunter's and Bam's position of just like, well, let's just go off of I don't think the Trump administration did like analysis here. I think the burden of proof, whenever you're going to try to spend government money, I think the burden of proof is on you to justify that government money being spent. I haven't seen any studies showing that it's a good thing to give SBA loans to non-citizens.
Grid, what was your opinion?
Sure, I haven't looked into this.
I didn't get my opinion. I don't know. And I actually, so I've used SBA loans. I'll continue to use SBA loans when available. Sometimes I don't qualify for them just because you can't make X amount of money. You have to have X amount of personal wealth and all of this other stuff. So
I took the STEMI checks too. I get it.
But I like that. But I have two problems, and I understand why they're doing this. It doesn't make good sense business wise to issue a high risk, low cost loan to someone who has no skin in the game, who is simply a legal resident that at any point in time can return to their country where we may or may not be able to legally go after the money.
Sure.
And this is the strongest argument against it. I don't know why you're laughing.
That's good.
I'm like 9,000% sure that's why.
The dumbest argument that's been put forward here, right? That's the stupidest argument. That they have no skin.
That's the stupidest argument.
We're talking about. Hold on. To be clear, the people that we're talking about are permanent legal residents, right?
No, they're not permanent. If they're permanent legal residents, they're called citizens.
No, hold on. They're literally called permanent legal residences. Hold on. Read the letter again.
A green card's not a permanent. A green card can be yanked at any time.
Read the letter again.
I understand what they call it, but a green card can be yanked at any point in time. Your citizenship
it can be yanked if you disagree with Israel.
It's an illegal permanent resident.
I'm going to go by the legal term of the permanent legal resident.
Wait, can't you revoke your own citizenship also?
You can give it up, but it can't be revoked.
Yeah, they can't come and get it. Well, there's very niche situations which they can denaturalize somebody. It's very niche situations. But generally, if you're a citizen, they can't take that.
I'm not aware of this situation.
Trump revokes the 14th.
I'm not a lawyer.
Well, again, it's only for people.
That's what he said.
Right, but it's only for people who committed fraud to get their citizenship.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That ones that committed fraud. Trust
he wants to take it from Rosie O'Donnell too.
Fraud, right? The Gestapo right now. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay.
Maybe Rosie O'Donnell lied. I don't know.
Is that
anyway, no. Yeah. Bullshit. Right. Whatever. I don't.
Rosie O'Donnell is a famed liar.
Literally lying about fucking what's her face? I think her name was like Lisa Cook or something. Right. The Fed not chairman, but like on the Fed board, right? That woman, the black woman, not surprised. And talking about like she had. Are you not aware of this? What I'm talking about?
No, I'm actually not.
So, if you, she's on the Fed board. Yeah, they're trying to charge her with fraud. Like, you know how
she commit fraud?
She didn't commit fraud though, of course. But like that's how how they're going against. You know how sorry, Gibbs, you can hear a lot of background noise. You know how he's been going around against Jerome Powell, right? Because he wants to lower the interest.
He's on his way out though. He's going to replace the cabinet.
Yeah, but in any case, the point is like he's also going on Lisa Cook. It's part of the same process. Just like he went after Trish James, right? And also nothing there, right? Complete nothing burger, amazing. Another black woman who would have guessed. But anyway, sorry. Bam, you want to say something?
Oh well,
Yeah.
and as far as Lisa Cook, she didn't actually commit fraud. She just like in one of the many documents of housing, like applying for a housing loan. On one of the documents, she had checked off the box for primary resident, and then ended up being her secondary. But there's like several other documents, official documents, where she marked it as her secondary residence. So he tried to charge her, like he tried to get her kicked off the Fed board and fire her, but that no judge took it seriously. But he attempted to. But I was actually asking Lactoid, is that Mott's apple juice? That was actually.
I'll have to look into this. Sorry, I'll have to look into this.
He'll find
situation.
some way to justify.
What was the last question you asked, Bam? Look, if there is some justification, I'll find it. Don't worry. Sorry, I totally missed what you said again.
Is this a conspiracy? I need to know if you're drinking Mott's apple juice. This is very important to me.
Oh, if I'm drinking what kind of apple juice?
There's no way you can't drink
Mott's.
My guy. Okay.
That's a callback right there.
It's delicious. But it's also like full of sugar. It's a drug.
Well, hold on. Apple juice is naturally full of sugar, though. They don't add sugar to it. Just apples naturally.
Therefore, your body metabolizes other sugar.
And that matters because it's like it's different.
Yeah, so. Absolutely.
Thank you. The nutritionist agrees.
No, I don't.
No, he already agreed. It's too late. Stop the count.
I mean, it literally has fructose in it. It's sugar. But in any case, yeah. So, yeah, like we're talking about permanent. Sorry, we got distracted here. Permanent legal residents, what we call them. Permanent legal residents. I believe that's. If I could be wrong about this.
Okay, so the permanent legal residents give up their passport to their home country.
That's nonsense. That's like why would that make? Sorry, I'm ignoring that because no, that's not a thing. And
to be fair, I'm a citizen and I have multiple passports. Just to be clear, so
yeah, exactly. Passport, but I guess he doesn't have skin in the game, right? Yeah, he's of Swedish and Canadian ancestry, right? And so I guess he doesn't have skin in the game.
Actually, only Canadian.
Yeah. That's
revision. Only Canadian.
The same. Hold on. Yeah, that's actually a good point, Lactoid, right?
Yeah.
There are Americans.
Look, Epstein had like 3 passports, so I don't see what's wrong with
right? Born in America, who
you're using that one of all examples to use. Epstein's the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay.
There are Americans born in America, right, who have multiple citizenships, right?
That's true.
So would that also mean they don't have skin in the game? They also have other passports, and they can also theoretically go to another country at any point in time. So should we not give them loads too? Great.
Possibly is.
Like I'm personally biased on this question. I don't know if I can really give an answer.
Well,
sorry, are you asking me if someone has multiple passports, should they not get an SBA loan? I don't know how how the bank would determine that. As long as they're a U.S. citizen and have a U.S. passport, then they're good to go.
Okay, so hold on a second. But no, the statement.
I'm sorry. Is that hard to understand? I'll explain it. I can speak slower.
Don't worry. I know you're trying to get a dunk here, trying to condescend.
No, you like freaked out. I was like,
I didn't freak out. I didn't freak out. I asked you a simple question, but you seem to misunderstand the question. So don't ask.
Man, I'm gone for 30 seconds.
You can catch it. Don't worry, I'll do that for you. Right? Hey, it seems like the point that you were making previously is that, like, using your words, right? We shouldn't be giving loans to people who don't have skin.
Yeah, good.
And the way that you illustrated this is that they have a foreign passport, which would give them the ability.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. You did say that.
I said that since they are not a legal citizen, there is the risk of them returning to their home country and not being able to be extradited by the United States of America. And therefore, that money would be gone and people wouldn't be able to get it back. That's what I said.
I can get extradited. I could get extradited.
You absolutely could? Really?
Well, if I went to Sweden, part of it's because I'm pretty sure Sweden has an extradition treaty with America.
Yes, that would be the question.
So if I were to go there, they could totally. And by the way, I don't know if the U.S. really needs an extradition treaty at this point. I mean, if they can get Maduro, they can get me.
Right. Well, there's that.
But even worse.
If we ignore law,
that brings up another point. Even if you're an actual citizen who only has one passport, right? At any point in time, you can go to any non-extraditable country, right? You can take the money and then run.
But if I'm a U.S. citizen and I run with the money, and the federal government will come after me and take the money back if it's enough for them to do it. Is that am I wrong about that?
Oh my God!
Not if I'm in a non-extraditable country. You can murder somebody and go to the right country. And nobody.
That's true.
Please. Yes,
Russia's pretty much
you are the
one.
one who set up this scenario that we're discussing right this second, right? You talk about going to a non-extraditable country, meaning, right, a country where the U.S. can't come and get you, right? Where you can put your money in some bank and they can't get to it. That's the whole point of bringing up non-extraditable countries.
Fair enough. I'll answer that. Fair enough. I'll answer that. So there's a difference between being a citizen of a country where you may not, that government may not allow the U.S. to remove one of their citizens. Are you understanding that? Did I say that clearly enough? So, for example, if I were, I don't know what country, but if I were some other nationality, like let's pick China. Let's say that I was Chinese, and I came over here and I took out I have a LPR card because I've been here.
What does that LPR stand for, by the way? What's LPR stand for again?
Yeah, we've already gone over that, Corey.
So can you remind? I'm stupid. So can you remind me?
Well, it's called a legal permanent resident.
Oh, okay. But
it can be rescinded. It can be rescinded. It can be rescinded.
Now you can actually say the word.
Yeah. It's fine.
You said
LPR. Even if I have that LPR and I'm a Chinese citizen and I take a loan and I spend all the money and I then say, you know what? I'm out of here. I don't want to pay any of it back. So I go back to China. Do you think I can be? You think China is going to help the United States, which they might actually, depending on what it is.
We don't have a treaty with them.
And so if I go back to China, then you know what happens? The taxpayers are stuck with the bill for my money.
Oh my God!
That I stole.
Grid. Would you be in favor?
No, sorry. I'm sorry. Stop. Grid. No, I can't let people move away from this. Grid. What are you saying to me? I kept saying, hey, yes, I understand what a non-extraditable country is. I'm saying that risk is for anyone. Anyone can go to a non-extraditable country, right? And then not be extradited.
Well, but those countries are going to.
I'm an American citizen. If
those
I
countries,
go to China,
yeah, they're going to.
If I go to China, and the FBI comes over and says, we want that motherfucker over there. The Chinese are going to be like, here he is.
I don't want him anywhere. I don't want him either.
No, hold on. Yes.
Yeah, China's going to kick him out. The exception to this are people with like intelligence assets, so like Snowden.
Yeah, what happened to Edward Snowden?
The Snowden. The Russians aren't going to send him. But if you're just some guy who got an SBA loan, there is no way they're going to help you.
Hold on. There are plenty of countries. Yeah. There are plenty of countries where you can go. Right, people literally flee murder. Yeah, they flee. This happens all the time. People flee crimes
and they
go to other countries. It might be not all countries, and that's fair, right? But they go to other countries, non-extraditable countries, and they don't get extradited. They hide there the entire time. Correct?
Both right.
I'm not aware of that. I'm seriously not. The only example I can think of. The only example I can think of is Edward Snowden, but that's because he's an intelligence asset. Yeah, he had to go to Russia because he's an intelligence asset. That's why Russia let him stay.
Can you give an example?
No, look up the story. I'm about to say it's Black History Month. Look up the story of Asada Shakur. Like she killed the cop, honestly, in self-defense, but she did kill a cop. She went to Cuba,
what's first name?
We knew exactly where she was.
Shakur.
ASSA. I think it's.
Wait,
so low.
Wasn't she?
So wait, I can speak. There's a bunch of people who have like committed pharmaceutical fraud or whatever it may be from Dearborn who will leave to Lebanon. There's no extradition in Lebanon.
Hold on, am I crazy? But she was in prison, wasn't she, Shakur?
I just want to add, but you're both
Gibbs, you're using the wrong mic or something. We can't hear you. Maybe
my bad, Grid. I thought you guys were talking about like extradition from other countries.
Yeah, hold on. Cuba. Hold on. So she went to Cuba,
Cuba didn't think that she fucking did it.
No. I'm reading right here that she specifically was granted political asylum in Cuba. This isn't just somebody who scammed the SBA loan system. This is somebody who is like supposedly
right. She did something to her.
Yeah, she committed murder.
Yeah, but she's alleging
Cuba wanted them.
Yeah, she's asserting that it's due to like some kind of it was a political. I guess I can imagine a scenario
Cuba
in which
agrees with you. She's like, they're like, yeah, fuck the American cops.
Right, but I can imagine some scenario. I can imagine some scenario in which somebody takes out an SBA loan, and then the government comes after them, and then the person says, "This is actually all political," and then they go to some political adversary of the United States, and they grant them some kind of political asylum. I can imagine that scenario. But what I think Grid is talking about is not those kind of scenarios. He's talking about what's likely the much more common scenario of giving somebody an SBA loan, them failing at a small business because most of them fail, being unable to pay it back, and then skipping town. That's probably what he's talking about.
I mean, anyone can technically always
we
do
know
that.
that's
It just
what we're
depends on the
talking
amount of
about.
money.
That's but
And going back to their country of
saying that
origin,
anyone can do that. We got
where
that
they
part.
are still a
We're already
citizen.
there.
Yeah, well,
Sorry, go
hold
ahead,
on.
Hunter.
Why is this
Sorry. Oh, sorry. Do you want to say something, Gibbs? All right. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I think that you're like kind of both right, you're both wrong at the same time on this, right? So like I'm thinking like McAfee. Y'all remember him? That he like went crazy at the end, yeah, right. And like the U.S. couldn't get to him; they couldn't extradite him because the country wouldn't.
Who's
extradite,
this?
right? McAfee,
John McAfee, the guy
John
who
McAfee.
antivirus thing.
But they were able to go after his money, right? The IRS went like aggressively sought his money, and he ended up being almost destitute towards the end, right? They were like going after it, even these countries that through like cyber shit, all sorts of stuff, right? I remember that being a big thing, and he was like, "They're coming for me," right? And so like there are ways they can go after him. They might not be able to get the person, but I think that like Grid and them are making a good point here in the aspect. Okay, if I go back, say I go back to Belize, I think that's where he was, right? And I'm over there, and I'm a citizen of Belize, they're not going to extradite me to the U.S. for like a white collar financial like run out on pay. They're just not going to do that. Like it's just not worth it. It's not a big enough international incident, and then we're stuck on the hook. I mean, I think that is a problem, but like I think it's more of the like.
I'm not saying it's the
Hunter,
problem.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's
the problem
a
that
problem,
you pointed out.
but I think that
I pointed out a problem.
The benefits of America.
Yeah, and then I said it was nonsense, and then you fought me on this entire time. That's what we've been trying to work out.
You don't think that's a problem at all? Like even if it's like 1%.
No.
It's not a big
I don't say that. I didn't say that. No. I didn't say that. Like that's not a possibility. Of course, anyone can commit fraud, right, or break a contract, or however you want to say it, right. That could be happen to anyone. In fact, that was my point. I said, hey, a U.S. citizen could do the exact same thing. That
but they're less likely, probably, right?
Is it less likely? Because permanent legal residents are here to live. Right, like they've gone through the entire process, the legal process, to become permanent legal residents. It's a years-long process they went through, right? And so now the what's put forth as a reason not to give them laws is because these people are so their connection to the U.S. is so tenuous that they might run away.
They need more loyalty.
Who almost certainly the loyalty now.
Enough.
Yes, now we have to worry about loyalty. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we do loyalty checks for citizens, right? Because we assume citizens are loyal too.
I was born here.
Nonsense. This is nonsense.
I swore an oath to the Constitution.
To Canada.
Yeah, and they'll do it too.
You swore an oath and you were born here.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I know. I'm extra patriotic.
Because you're a lawyer. Sorry.
What
the fuck are you talking about?
When he got his citizenship,
you remember that?
From being Canadian to American, yes, he had to swear the oath. But agreed. Sorry, Hunter was wanting to say something. I want to get Hunter, and then I think Bam.
I don't know if I want to say it.
All
I'll say is that it's probably.
I'm sorry, man.
It's okay.
I'll go real quick. There's probably a likelihood that legal permanent residents are more likely to dip than citizens. I don't know. I'd have to see the data, but these fucking accusations and wild assertions are not doing anyone any good. And Prime is making me side with the conservatives, which I'd never really like to do. So
you do that.
Come join us.
Come over to the dark side.
So we can't expect anything better from him.
Cut a liberal and a fascist, please.
He's not. What? I didn't call him a fascist, but liberals are handmaids of fascism, but they're not fascists. They're handmaids of fascism.
So what am I?
They're fucking collaborators, is what they are.
Really? I'm collaborating with Trump and shit.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Like, I didn't know that.
I didn't say you were collaborating with Trump. I said
which fascist?
We're look at Hunter playing dumb, pretending like he wasn't doing it.
We'll go into it in a second. Hold on, I'm gonna go to Corey. No, I'll defend. Yeah, liberals are collaborators, right?
How?
Fucking Bam is a collaborator, right?
What did I do?
Collaborator.
What the fuck did I do?
Calm down. Don't worry. I'll indict your character later.
You support the system.
Let me get Corey in.
Maybe a quick question. So Gibbs, is like your primary objection to this? Is like, well, is it like essentially like they don't have skin in the game? Also, of like, pretty much they're not. There's no loyalty to the United States, and therefore, they don't have the.
My objection.
Yeah, your objection. Like,
well, honestly, like, no, this is kind of where I'm like stuck. Like I said at the meta, I'm like, hey, less government interference. I like that. But and then like when I get down locally, if it would actually benefit us, I could be sold Like, if I thought the numbers were coming up together, hey, it would be better to let the green card holders have it. There's all the benefits, and like the percentage of people that run off is X amount, and it's so small that we actually make X amount. If I could be sold that, I could probably get on board. But like at the surface level, I think it's America first. I can see the logic in it, like from that.
Okay, America.
I think that's where it is. I think it does give a benefit if we're going to spend this money to give it to American citizens.
I just want to add on. Would it change your position if you learn? I'm not saying this is the case, but let's say hypothetically, if you learned that all green card holders, 100% of them over the lifetime become United States citizens.
No, because I'm not caring about is the bottom dollar. Like it wouldn't matter. 0% of them became citizens as long as it made America's the most money. I don't give a shit.
Sure, but but you also brought up this aspect of America first, as in like this should be for America. Right. So it's like I'm asking you. So assuming I understand there's an implicit assumption of like this is overall good. So assuming this is overall results in GDP increase, okay, and then also that green card holders, and I'm pretty sure based off of like just cursory stats. It's not 100%, but the vast majority of green card holders, I do believe, become full United States citizens. But let's say it was the case of like all green card holders become citizens, and then it's demonstrable that it leads to GDP growth. Would that make you in favor of it?
If that was the case, then I would probably not be in favor of this. If that was like demonstratable, like 100%. I mean,
not in favor of the revision, as in you'd be in favor then of having small business loans to green card holders.
Yeah, I would be more partial to it then. Yeah, because like I said, it's whatever the bottom line is best. Like for me, I don't really care about the citizenship aspect so much. I care about like the people that are citizens, like making the most money. You know, like the taxpayers getting ROI would be kind of my thing, my bigger issue with it overall.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
I'm sorry, quick question, and I'm like, do we all not hate the story like of people who have issues with with immigration and how it works in the United States? Do you all not personally hate the story of Melania Trump, just her rise to being the first?
I don't really know her story.
Walk me through it.
I haven't seen the movie yet, so I don't.
No, before you do that, I gotta say,
you won't find out.
Well, I have a couple tickets to see it tomorrow. I'm excited.
Let me know.
Can we all just observe?
Well, I'm a collaborator. So
I knew you were a collaborator. I knew it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Can we just observe the lighting that Ali has evolved to? Gone is the purple.
It looks good.
It banished the purple, and he looks human. You look good, dude.
He always looked human, just to be clear. At least in my eyes.
Well, only when Connor's.
You're muted, Ali.
You're muted, Ali.
Still the camera and fucked up the mic.
Oh no,
there it is.
Just spend the money somewhere.
That's my sweet baby.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you, Grid. I appreciate that. Respect recognizes respect, baby. You looking good too, man.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah.
I gotta work on my backlighting. Get together. But
what happened to why did you change from the purple to the orange? It's a great change.
I got this like handmade fucking Peruvian lamp thing, and it's an orange. Yeah,
nice. It looks great, man. Whoever did that for you, whoever got that.
Shout out to the wifey. Shout out to the wifey.
Shout out to the wife. That's right.
Women making our lives better all the time. Go ahead, Bam.
But yeah, just the concept of I believe she came to the country initially on a work visa. And it was actually an incorrect work visa.
Sorry, who came to the? I missed
Melania Trump.
Melania Trump. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, she came to the country originally on a work visa, which was actually an incorrect categorization of visa for the type of work she was doing as a model.
Like fraud.
I believe that that visa expired, and there was like a couple-year period where she was actually an illegal immigrant, overstated.
Undocumented immigrant. Undocumented immigrant.
She hung out. She's like because I think she did eventually get the right category of visa.
The O1B
for modeling. I don't remember.
Has there been any other first lady that I've seen naked? I don't think so.
Yeah, there's also I was about to say, but she did some.
Don't care about Nicki Minaj, so
why would they care about a little bit of software porn? She gets introduced to some, higher upper class
guys,
rich guys,
who allegedly said she's a fine piece of ass. I've heard. I don't know if that's actually true.
Were you there?
We have to corroborate the statement of if she's a fine piece of ass. Lactoids on it. Go ahead.
She looks pretty good for her age now. She was very attractive back then, for sure.
No,
Very attractive.
Yeah.
Very. He said with the gleam in his eye. Very attractive.
Yeah, I have absolutely looked up the photos. Of course I have. Yes.
Yeah, 100% I have. Yeah. I've seen
Yeah.
it.
Really? What am I going to do? Not look at that?
It's not even about attraction. I just think it's crazy.
You could do that, yes.
Naked. Or at least you're.
Why should that be crazy? Why should that be crazy?
No, hold on.
I don't care how pro.
Why is it?
What
why
the fuck are we talking about? How crazy is it that we've seen the first lady naked? That's a weird thing.
Yeah, why is that crazy?
It's a little weird. It's a little weird.
It's unusual. No. It's unusual, but why is it crazy?
It's crazy.
Well, because normally you would.
It would be like if we saw Trump naked. That would also be weird, right? It's just like you don't expect these people.
I don't want to see that either. I don't want to see that either.
It's like defining like.
There's different positions or different things.
Disqualification. I'm just
it's a different position.
No, it should be disqualifying. Like there's
I don't know if it should be disqualified.
No, I'm saying even like this is as somebody who is pro, pro love, pro sex work, pro all of these things as you can be. There's a reality of different positions should require a different standard. If you want to be the president of the United States, like you probably shouldn't have 34 felonies.
So do you think that sex workers
those are bullshit felonies? Come on.
But hold on.
And they say
an intern in the office in the Oval Office. Is that cool?
Huh?
That's crazy.
No, it wasn't.
He
got impeached for it.
Wait, hold on. What does he have to do? Does he have to divorce her? What's the protocol?
Yeah, where are we at on this?
Is she not going to be the first lady?
What level of degeneracy?
No, I'm not speaking to.
You are disqualified.
The sex worker, I'm not speaking to legally. I'm just saying that the position.
But hold on, what's more American than Marilyn Monroe? Everybody saw her naked. Like, I mean, would you tell me Marilyn Monroe would have been like not the good first lady at some point? You're like, come on.
Sorry,
I don't believe.
Yeah, JFK.
Bam says boobs are un-American.
Well, hold on. I just want to. Bam. Let me cut through this and let me ask you a very direct question. You said that you think that the naked photo is disqualifying of the position of first lady. Did I hear that correctly?
But I'm just saying we should hold that the president of the United States should be held to a high standard.
So okay, you're saying that if the president of the United States is married to somebody where there's naked photos of her in the past, you think that we should vote for somebody else?
Yeah, your president is married to an OnlyFans girl. Is what he's trying to say. Your president is your conservative president is married to an OnlyFans girl. Is what he's trying to say.
Hold on. I know, but I'm just asking, what's the actual protocol here? Like, if you're married to somebody, where it's not even. We're not even talking about the president.
We're
married to somebody.
Hold on. We can call them hypocrites without establishing that as our principle.
That's what you do.
That's
a weird principle.
We can call them hypocrites without establishing that as our principle.
What if Johnny Sins wins office? Yeah, should he be disqualified?
Johnny Sins? I don't know what he does.
Yeah. Famed pornographic actor.
Famous porn star.
Yeah, he literally every character.
Can we are we saying that's
it'd be weird?
But is that the best we can do?
But maybe he's got great policy. You don't know.
This is a very interesting
insecurity test.
I haven't heard what Johnny Sins' position is in the economy yet.
What have you heard from him? I want to know what.
I haven't heard anything about Johnny Sins' political platform. Maybe he's got a really good platform. I don't know.
What in general, aside from his policy?
I don't like watching that kind of.
Donald Trump is in office right now.
He shouldn't be
doing the best that we can do, right, has never been a criteria, right? We elected George W. Bush, right? Doing the best we could do.
I understood George W. Bush. Or George W.
Okay, the one who lied us into multiple wars.
Absolutely fit.
We didn't know that before fucking electing him.
Well, we did know the second time.
No, George W. Bush fit the pedigree.
I don't think the
UN president
report was out that he had lied yet.
Where did he go to?
I see what you're saying. Okay,
people at the time, were questioning that data, right?
Oh, they were
at the time they were doing this. People were dumb. Like, oh my god, Hunter.
I wish you'd just been honest.
You're you're even poor for liberal.
Wait, hold on. I fucking hate George W. Bush more than you can fucking imagine. But your points are dog shit, and so I'm gonna criticize that.
I know. Oh yeah, you hate.
I fucking hate George W. Bush.
Good work.
I think he's maybe worse than Trump.
I didn't say you didn't.
Yeah. George Bush is fucking hilarious. Okay.
Bush has been vindicated the last 20 years.
I yearn for the days of Bush.
He's been vindicated. Iran's the weakest
No,
citizen.
George W.
I rewatched that video of him getting the shoe thrown at him, and what he said after was so fucking diplomatic. He said, "You know what? This is a sign of democracy. This is America right here." After the shoe, you know what?
He got him released.
I fucking
you like him
I
now?
love George Bush.
Okay,
Okay?
right. That's what it takes.
He had some charisma. He had more charisma.
Everybody can't talk too much. I'm just saying
I'm
saying that like George W. Bush.
I find it just an interesting purity test going on. That's. I mean, literally, JFK had a secret tunnel to go bang chicks in, like, and then LBJ was literally getting BJs in the Oval Office, just like Bill Clinton was.
Honestly,
bam.
why be
Is that a
president if
problem?
you can't have a secret tunnel to go fuck bitches? Like, honestly, like, what's the point of being president?
You knew Gibbs was going to say that. You knew Gibbs was going to say that.
Family man.
Hey, Bam, if we found out that a U.S. president cheated on their wife, right? Like, should
it would be more odd if they hadn't.
I would agree on that. But yeah, so Bam, like, if they're have infidelity, should we not vote for them later on, just no matter what the politics may be?
I think it would be a massive blow. I wouldn't say like it's completely like I think you're at the position of it doesn't matter. Like you're like oh, it doesn't matter.
I don't give a fuck.
But
prime encouragement. If your president doesn't cheat on his wife, is he a real man?
I don't know. I think the president of the United States should be held. Like you're talking about, like, why are we purity testing? It could be anybody. No, we should have a standard. It's like
but there are some.
Look, I actually agree with you, Bam. Bam, I agree with you. I agree with you. However, the fact is that powerful men attract women, and they fuck them. That's what happens. And I mean, look, I hate it too.
Thank you for explaining that.
Degeneracy.
I bet you hate it a lot.
Fucking degeneracy. But that's what happens.
Less for me.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, hold on. There are definitely presidents that haven't cheated on their wives, though.
Who?
Like George Washington?
I think it's
FDR.
Oh, Obama for sure cheated on his wife.
No,
I don't. I don't know why.
I believe that rumor about Obama and Jennifer Aniston 1,000,000%.
This isn't even about partisanship. Like I hate this politics. Mike Pence has the pedigree of someone to be respectable as a president.
That guy has never cheated on his wife, for sure.
That's true.
Mike Pence is a.
But he wasn't president. He was never elected president.
That freak Christian nationalist.
He won't even be in a room alone with a woman.
Okay,
That's a bad sign.
But he's never cheated.
Right? Like,
I don't believe it.
The positive
You're not going to find him on the Epstein flight list.
You're also not going to find him as president.
He calls his wife mother. Right?
That's
what he does in public.
Okay.
He calls her mother.
I think
look it up. Look it up.
That's an old school thing.
I don't want to just like hold on.
What,
an old school thing? I want to just hold on. I think this is important though. Like there's like maybe a certain like identity to being in America, right? And I think that's somewhat important. And it might sound dumb, like the basis, but like when you that's fine. You can say that, but I think there's a value in like having a persona as like a people, right? And I think like part of this is you like America's known for kind of being a little bit wild. A little bit having like aggressive, a little bit unpredictable. Cowboys. And like I know that like people that don't like Trump don't like this, but like he's not the first one. Bush was like this. Obama was like a kind of dominant personality. All these people have this like personality type where it's like, oh, they might be, a little bit edgy, might not know what they're gonna do. And I think part of that is the like attraction. You don't want some like person like Pence up there. Could you imagine Pence's interactions with other world leaders? Awful. That's not gonna represent what America is. But like someone that's like, oh yeah, well I have anything under the sun.
I'm with you, brother. I'm trying to imagine anyone on this panel turning down pussy. I'm literally in my head trying to see any of you motherfuckers turning down pussy. Any of you.
I mean, I will.
I get we're doing the jokes, but I'm like, in all seriousness, like, I don't know why do we don't have a statement for the president of the United States?
There's no evidence that Mike Pence calls his wife mother, by the way, according to my
Rolling Stone article where that allegation.
Cites an anonymous source that is denied, and there's no hard evidence.
That's not no evidence. What are you talking about? Like most of the sources we when we're talking about government,
he denies it. Like, he said it's not true.
What's wrong with
Would Mike Pence lie? This guy. Hold on, Prime. This guy held our democracy together. Despite the fact that his life was on the line, and you're going to call him a liar? Are you going to call him a liar? Prime.
What did he hold the democracy together against?
Nancy Pelosi.
Now,
Oh God,
Sorry,
that really pissed me off.
I asked him the question because Lactoid said that Mike Pence held the democracy together, and I asked him, well, like, what did Mike Pence hold the democracy together against? As in, what was he opposing? And typical Lactoid weaseled out because he has no backbone whatsoever.
That's true.
Let's go to our friend Gibbs.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna tell everyone to show up at your house and start harassing them.
Like, but like, have y'all seen the movie?
Because I guess that's cool now, right?
Like what we're heading towards.
No one's illegal on stolen land,
like,
I guess.
Oh man, he's so cool, bro.
This is why that fucking slogan
why
sucks.
is the president a dude, bro? Why is that okay with us?
But why do you not want it to be?
I don't know why.
I want the president. I want the president to be the best of us.
I want to be.
I agree with you,
American.
Presidential.
I want to be the American the Japanese think we are, right? Like I want to be Bandit Keith, bro. I want to be fucking El Jefe, a cowboy, bro.
You want to be Joey from Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, Doc Holliday. I don't want fucking like I don't know.
Fucking Wayne. That's
the Cowboys we respect.
I think Doc Holliday died pretty young.
The Cowboys that respect are like
no, Gibbs. All you want is this power fantasy. It's like you just want the president to look cool, and you're like, hell
that
yeah,
matters.
I'm American.
Gibbs, you can say that.
The Rock Johnson.
Why is Putin popular? Like in other countries,
is he popular?
Because he fucking forces the elections to go his way.
He's got charismatic. He's like, he represents like a Russia, like value system. Like he embodies this, right?
This is the most un-American bullshit I've ever fucking heard.
I don't like Putin. I think he's
no. Gibbs has been. Let him talk.
But I think that when he sits there and he goes, "Well, what do you think, Russia, the Great Bear?" Putin's a good representation of that.
Off the cuff, wild guy.
Okay. Look at why don't we go to the Middle East? Let's go to the Middle East. We can look at the Saudis. Why do the Saudis make time? Well, cool. They live this lavish, larger lifestyle, bro. King Abdul or whatever his name is having a good time, right? Like, it's like these guys have this persona. Like, I mean, no, I'm not saying but I'm saying they represent what their country is, right? And they're like an embodiment of values. But if we put some pussy up here that's afraid to be in a room with a woman, I'm sorry, that's not America. Nobody gonna take us seriously.
Just like Biden, fucked Marilyn Monroe.
I think that's what Biden was so bad for policy-wise, in my opinion, because he was dementia-ridden. Nobody wants the dementia-ridden guy. Maybe Biden in his prime would have been fine, but now bad. But we need somebody like a John Wayne. Y'all mentioned this earlier.
Like a Donald Trump,
a Ronald Reagan, a Donald Trump. We need. I don't know. I mean,
I don't even understand your perspective that you think that.
I think he's fine. Like I think he had the dangerous.
I'm about to say Ronald Reagan.
I endorse everything Gibbs just said.
Yeah, he needs some embodiment of America.
Ronald Reagan's pedigree was pretty traditional, upstanding, like man of God. Like I don't even know who you think Ronald Reagan was.
Yeah, Reagan was
like that. Yeah, but listen, I understand that. But
Ronald
the movie
Reagan
star
was
persona, like
with horrible politics.
But listen, you can pick leftists in there. Like, I mean, even left-leaning leaders. Like, I mean, like I'll say Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton's about as American as I got a blowjob in office, and I handed people ass.
Ryan, how do you feel about
that's pretty American.
Leftist?
I mean, he was a moderate then at the time. Like,
I do agree with you, Bam. I mean, I agree with you. On principle, I agree with you. But I also accept the reality that powerful men fuck women. I just accept that.
Well, no, that's not what he's saying. He's saying as conservatives. I think he's saying as conservatives, right? Like, what is Donald Trump? How is Donald Trump anything representative of like the conservative party, right? If the conservatives are like the religious Christians, right, the American, right, the traditional value, like people, Donald Trump doesn't represent any of that. If anything, he's represented throughout his entire life, like left-leaning values and degeneracy. Democrat. Right, and then like on top of that, the guy that you voted for while your ilk is kind of arguing for traditional values and America going back to traditional values is married to a model only like who posed nude. Right, he himself has like a slew of shit, and if he's not really acting in a conservative manner. And so I agree with you.
Defending George W.
Defending.
Hold on, Ollie. Was Bush Jr. like George W. Was that a personification of like living the value system that you're arguing that Trump doesn't?
I think George W. Bush.
I think Bush Jr. at the time. I think Bush Jr. While
Bush Jr. did cocaine and ran a car through a strip club.
Yeah. When he was in college, but while he was president, going through one of the most a lot of turmoil. But the guy,
a lot of turmoil, huh?
He got New York hit and still managed to be presidential and diplomatic, still managed to get up there and say, no, the Muslims aren't our enemies, blah, blah, blah. We got a shoe thrown at him while he was trying to do, I don't know what the fuck he was.
I like Bush too. He's one of my favorites.
Whatever the fuck it is. I'm saying as he was president, held held decorum, right? Like in the same way that like people look to like Obama, right? Obama, you can say like the deporter in chief. He was droning all this, but like the persona that he had, the presentation that he was like of a diplomatic, classy guy, and that's kind of I think what Bam is. At least that's what I think he's saying.
Yeah, y'all are being elitist.
That's exactly
even Bush, I'll address that. You're being elitist, is what y'all are saying. Y'all just hate Americans. Y'all just hate like that.
For sure, 100%.
Maybe I do.
That's like actually all I ever do.
I hate that.
This guy I agree with you. Trump's a fucking train wreck on a lot of things. I mean, he's not the ideal Republican candidate. Nobody's ever said that. Like I have a lot of problems with his personal life. I have a lot of problems, but he was the best we could get. Like we couldn't get anything better. You guys put fucking Biden up there who has had a bad blowjob since Dust was invented.
The problem is you just said he's the best we could get.
And Kamala.
But everyone else is holding him up.
We could get.
But everyone else. But everyone's holding him up as the best of all time.
Nobody. Okay,
not everybody. Some people are.
Who's doing it?
If you go down, hold on.
Give me a ratio. Give me a ratio of MAGA who thinks that Trump is the greatest of all time versus people who really don't like Trump. What's the ratio there?
Probably a poll.
No. If you just look at the customer list of the Trump shoe, you're probably going to get like a pretty close list of people who think Trump is the best of all time.
Gibbs, is he the best of all time?
No, but that shoe was pretty fly.
That's why I said a pretty close. There are some that shoe is fly as fuck. That's true.
Yeah. It's an ugly shoe. No,
Trump is the most socialist president
ever.
Whatever.
I'm not a fan of shiny things, so it's like
you're just not. You don't have style.
I'm not gaudy. Trump is gaudy as
better style than you.
Trump is gaudy as fuck.
I'm trying to answer the Grit's question.
Sorry, Bam.
Home Depot gold everywhere.
I can't hear you, Bam. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Bam. Go ahead, please. Try it again, Bam.
Grit. What Republican has ever had a higher approval rating within the Republican Party than Donald Trump? Like,
I have no idea.
Like, we deal with him.
Ronald Reagan.
He's the highest ever.
Well, yeah, Reagan.
I think Reagan probably had. Yeah, I think so.
I don't within the Republican Party.
Let me look it up.
I don't know if Donald Trump fell.
Yeah,
I will consult the mighty Dork.
Give me 1 second. Ratings. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Doing a January 6th. That's being all over the Epstein file. That's grandma.
Yeah, you got to say the way, like it's the way that it's the way that when Lactor talks about anyone in the Democratic Party, they're like the worst person ever. But then when it gets to Trump, it's like, yeah, I don't really agree with everything that Trump does. When it gets to Trump, the blows get softened. I didn't
like how he raped that woman.
Those blows get softened when we're talking about Trump, but when we're talking about everyone else, it's these motherfuckers need to burn under the jail in hell.
I don't say that.
I disagree with some of the policies, man.
She would say that. Lactoid just tiptoes around.
More salt to boot.
He tiptoes around.
Whoa. When have I said that a Democrat should burn under the jail? Come on.
I'm saying that's the general tone you speak of, like the Democratic Party and the left.
Yeah, because they're worse. What are we going to say? Like they support a power structure that is worse.
Two devils are in front of you, and you're like, yeah, but this one's on my side.
And one is worse. Yes, I'm looking at two devils, and one is worse, and I'm going to be a little more critical of that one. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 100%, 1,000,000%.
Okay, why don't we move on since we're deep in Trump talk? Why don't we move on to the actual topic? Okay.
Why not?
But this has been a fun, as usual. This panel provides, and thank you, Grid, for bringing up that letter. It was good content there, so thank you so much for that. But as usual, this panel provides. All right, I'm looking for content. You guys don't miss. Hey everyone at home, thanks for being here.
Reagan had higher, by the way, just to be clear. Go ahead. Sorry.
Per capita.
Yeah, amongst Republicans, he had a higher percentage approval.
You're really stretching sociologically.
Well, per capita matters because there's less people.
Per capita for
percentage support.
I
was just throwing out per capita because it's funny to say.
It's okay, Ollie. It's okay, man. It's okay. We got you, bro.
And Prime just ran with it. He's like, yeah, it matters.
No, it can matter. Hold on.
Wait,
of course it can matter.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Hold on. If
the level of approval per person
was 10 people, right? And then you said, well, someone got 100% approval, and it was 10 people. Then you're like, oh yes, this person got 100% approval from 10 people. Of course it matters. There's a massive population growth.
How do you do per capita in terms of approval rating?
Because what I just said.
Love when my comment stirs.
If they're let's take an example.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Hold on.
I think Ollie's drunk.
Hunter,
I'm stoned.
Hunter, don't worry. I'll break it down.
Muslim, he doesn't
You can understand that, right? 100, right, per capita, per 100, right? No, there's 1,000. Excuse me, 1,000, right? Per 1,000. If the Republican Party, right, at some point, let's pretend, is 1,000 people, right, and those 1,000 people, support one individual, right, 100% approval, right, and then we're comparing that with another statistic, right, in which a person got 80% approval, right? But that sample size or the demographic being measured, right, is 1 billion people. Well, then yes, there's more support, right? Like it's more meaningful that you got like 80% of 1 billion, right, rather than 100% of 1,000.
But per capita would be 100% and 80%. That's
okay.
Because wait, hold on. What would the percentage be then? 100% of 1,000 people. That's 100% of people. You divide 1 by 4,000, and that comes out as 100%.
I understand that.
So how do you even do it per capita of approval rating?
Because it's more significant when you have more people behind you.
That's fine. How do you gauge that? How do you even gauge that? You can't
by
just divide that
by comparing the population, the numbers in the population. That's how you would do that.
By dividing
per capita.
I don't even understand how you could divide it.
It's okay.
Oh my God. Okay, never mind. It's okay.
Okay.
Blacktoy, can you tell us about per capita?
Yeah, Prime, I love you. I do think you are misunderstanding per capita a little bit here in this discussion.
Per capita is per 1,000.
It could be per 100 per. It's about like per person. What is the So when you're looking at like an approval rating per what's the approval rating per capita? Doesn't really make sense.
No. Not approval rating per capita. I'm saying that like what
how many people approved of
but that's not necessarily
total number of
Reagan
people
then
relative
versus
to
how many
population.
people approve of Trump now? Is there more people if you compare the numbers that approve of Trump comparative to the people?
But that's what a percentage is.
That's what a percentage already is.
I was just throwing it out there.
What a percentage
Okay, that's fine.
No, that is. No, Hunter's right. That is what a percentage is. Because it's a percent of the number.
Trolling. It's okay. He was stoned and he was trolling.
Hold on. But you can have different a percentage of what number, right? If it's a percentage of 1,000,
Republicans. Talking about sample size.
I know. 1,000 Republicans or 1 billion Republicans, right? That would be different.
It would be.
But how would you measure that difference?
It wouldn't be.
No, wait.
But it doesn't
He's
matter.
saying it's harder to gain the approval of 80% of 1 billion people than it is 100% of 1,000 people.
Yes, that's
right?
fine.
And
How
so
that's still not understanding per capita.
If there, well, sure. But he's saying so. Like if back then, let's just say there were only like 10 million Republicans at the time, versus now there's like 100 million Republicans at the time. Does Trump still have less numbers?
I totally understand the question, but what you're saying is do it per capita. That's what the percentage is.
It's also. I just want.
It's dividing by the amount of people that exist.
I hate.
Let me address Ali's question. So firstly, it's about we're asking the percentage of Republicans. Your point that there's might be more Republicans now because of like population growth compared to before. That's not really helpful here because you could make the argument that like Trump could have a 40% approval rating, and as long as there's enough more people, then he could have more Republicans that back him. But that's not really like an accurate snapshot of the country, right? We're looking at a percentage of Republicans that exist. What percentage of them support the president that they live under? And what it seems to be is that a higher percentage of Republicans supported Reagan, who had astronomically high. He was in the high 80s, 90s. He had astronomically high approval ratings amongst Republicans. Trump has decent approval ratings amongst Republicans,
I'm pretty sure he's 80s
but
and 90s.
not. I think he's 70s and low 80s compared to Reagan's high 80s, 90s.
Like at currently, he may be, but I think his average is going to be way higher than that.
Gork says no.
Gork.
Sounds made up.
Well, shit. All right.
The Oracle has spoken.
The Oracle of Gork.
The conch.
Thank you.
Magic conch.
Thank you, everybody.
That's good for you.
So let's go back to it. Support the show. we didn't even get that far. Support the channel. Follow the channel. Whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, or Kick. Super chats are welcome. We will put your super chats up on screen. I will have a conversation, right? Maybe I can explain demographic differences to our our guests again, and statistical anomalies. But it's okay. But thank you, everyone, so much for being here and supporting us so far. We'll jump right into the topic. And you guys can do your opening statements and intros at the same time. Okay. The topic is, which I don't even have it up. Topic. Last Wednesday, the FBI conducted a raid against the Fulton County Elections Office in Atlanta, Georgia. This was part of Trump's ongoing probe into alleged irregularities in the 2020 U.S. presidential election. Critics have said this is an attempt to intimidate voters for the upcoming midterms. Some say that this may even be a part of a plan to wrest control of strategic counties from local authorities and hand it to either federal or friendly Republican state leaders. And are you in support of this investigation? Should the government be using such tactics? Are the fears of local election officials valid? Is this an example of Trump being a sore loser? Do you think that there was 2020 election interference that changed the outcome of the race to begin with? I imagine most people who are watching this are aware of this happening last week. But the FBI came down, right, in force on this election office, and there was video of them taking a bunch of boxes outside of this office / warehouse. Many people believe this is a big problem. For one, they feel like this is a continuation of one of Trump's many grievances. They feel that this is a distraction. They feel like this is an overstep of federal government's power, they feel that this is a step to undermining our elections, especially with the midterms coming up, as an act of intimidation. So I really want to hear what you all think about this. I think that this topic touches on a lot of different things, and in terms of election integrity, in terms of where we should, what should the limits be of an FBI investigation, which has come up many times before, right? Like how far can the DOJ go to run an allegation down? There's been debate on both sides of the aisle on that. Does this make you trust or distrust the president more or less? Let's go to our friend Lactoid.
So one of the things that during the 2024 election, or really leading up to the 2024 election, one of the things that I was challenged on a lot was whether or not Trump actually believed that the election was stolen. Because one of the arguments was Trump doesn't actually believe this. He didn't actually believe it in 2020. This was just him trying to bold-faced steal the election, right? He didn't actually believe anything about it being stolen. That was simply a pretense to do what he actually believed, which was that, he doesn't believe in democracy. He wants to usurp the government, all that stuff. I didn't believe it at the time. I said all the evidence appears to demonstrate that Trump actually does believe that the election was stolen from him. All of his private phone calls, the actions that he took, indicate that he genuinely believes it. And it seems as though the actions after he's even been elected are continuing to demonstrate that fact. If he didn't believe it, it'd be super easy for him to just simply drop it, or even something would have come out potentially indicating that he doesn't actually believe it. But this guy, here he is, still looking into Georgia, and here we are 6 years later. So I think he believes it. I think he genuinely believes that the 2020 election was stolen from him, and he does have a bit of a vendetta complex, and he wants to look into it. I'm not opposed to just looking into shit. As long as that's what we're doing, just looking into shit, no harm, no foul. If they look into shit and there is nothing there, I think that should also be stated. And then perhaps that'd be good reason for perhaps him to drop it. But if there is something there, then that's going to be pretty crazy. And that's going to just sort of change the overall dynamic of everything. So I'm sitting and waiting to see what is discovered, if anything. But not necessarily opposed to, taking a look. But I think the main takeaway here is, you can say that Trump is vindictive and that he's, obsessive about a point that doesn't really matter anymore, which is true. But the dude genuinely feels like the election was stolen from him.
Okay. Let's go to our friend Hunter.
Hello. I'll say a few things. The first is that Trump simply could have waited for the copies to be accessible to him. He accessed the FBI to take these documents to ensure that he could have the originals. To me, that screams, I don't know why he would do this, but the only thing that I could come to the conclusion is either one of two options, which is the first is that he's going to edit these original documents, or the second is that he is going to be a little bit vindictive about who didn't vote for him. To me, the second seems a little implausible because going after individuals seems highly unlikely. But he is reticent to attack states who didn't vote for him. We can look at Minnesota. We can look at Georgia, the way he's sort of strong-armed them as states. I think that we should be concerned about this for a number of different reasons, but I also think that anyone who claims that the 2020 election was stolen is dumb, is a stupid person who doesn't like evidence when it doesn't go their way. Donald Trump specifically had to fire, Barr and Chris Krebs and a number of different individuals who told him that this was not an issue. I definitely want to bring up the Georgia call that he got nearly impeached over, or he did get impeached over, and there was a lawsuit over. But yeah, I think that's about it. I think Donald Trump's a fascist who wants to control the election. Oh, one more thing. Sorry. I think that he's worried about the midterms coming up because I think he knows it's going to be a bloodbath for the Republican Party. His approval rating is very low. And I think he knows that the Democrats are going to swing really heavily. There's been a number of different moments in the Texas primary where something that was, I think, 17 points went to Trump, just swung for a Democratic senator. And I think he feels the writing on the wall. So he's trying to strong arm different counties right now. And I find it pretty abhorrent.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to our friend Corey.
Well, I'll keep it short to get to the open. So pretty much just stick to the prompts. Am I in support of this investigation? Sort of like, well, somewhat similar to Lactoid in terms of like, on paper, I'm not opposed to it in terms of looking into it. But then what I expect is like, well, I think Trump has already said, although correct me if I'm wrong, of like he expects prosecutions to be coming down the pipeline. So I expect that to happen then. But then if that doesn't happen and it's looked into and nothing is found, well, then I expect him now to no longer say that the 2020 election was rigged, right? Because like it's pretty much like, directed by him, right? That they're looking into it. So like in the next 1 or 2 years, assuming the investigation doesn't take forever, but I assume it is probably going to take forever. Okay. And it's probably just going to be swept away. Nothing's going to come up. He's still going to continue that same talking point. But I have a little bit of an expectation then. You're looking into it. You're doing the investigating. I think you've explicitly said there's going to be prosecutions. So then if that doesn't happen, then his position should change, presumably. Now, should the government be using, but at the end of the day, I am highly suspicious of the tactics being used here. Should the government be using such tactics? Like, again, on paper, I'm not opposed to it. Let's just say, I would not necessarily be against it. Let's say now when Democrats are in power, them doing the same thing. I'd be curious to see how Republicans react. And do I think the fears of local election officials are valid? My answer is yes. And do I think Trump is a sore loser? Obviously, the answer is yes. And I don't think there's anything that to indicate significantly that happened that resulted, that any interference happened significantly that resulted in the 2020 election being rigged or that changed the outcome of the election. And I'll leave it there for now.
Thank you so much. Let's go to our friend Grid.
Yeah. So I don't need to echo Lactoid too much there, but I will say I'll just answer the questions as they're asked. Are you in support of this investigation? Yeah, absolutely, I am. I think that transparency. Pardon me, I can't speak tonight. I think that's a key piece, and I'm actually really shocked that the Georgia officials have put up as much of a fight as they have. But it's interesting. Should the government be using such tactics? Unfortunately, I think they're necessary in this case. I wish they weren't, but it seems like they're necessary. I'm open to arguments to the contrary. Are the fears of local election officials valid? I don't know. Did they do something wrong? I don't know. Is this an example of Trump being a sore loser? I think it's an example of Trump being dogged in pursuit of what he wants. And he's had a history of doing that his entire life. And you know what you're going to get. Like, he's just not going to stop until he figures it out. But no, I don't think he's a sore loser. Do you think that there was 2020 election interference that changed the outcome of the race to begin with? Well, I have no fucking idea because we haven't had actual investigations, and there's a lot of things that need to be answered, such as this, and then we'll know. So I don't know. Maybe, but I have no idea. So, and that's basically it. You can find me at Unreasonable Man and at Gun Prattle.
Thank you so much. Let's go to our friend Gibbs. Gibbs, you're muted, friend.
Sorry about that. Yeah, thank you for having me as always. Good to see everybody. Also, Ollie, I agree with the statements earlier. I like the red. Yeah, so first I want to say I was earlier on a panel today, and for the last about hour and a half of this 4-hour panel, of course, we got to talk about January 6th and all this good stuff and et cetera, as we do it every time we talk to the Democrats. And so, of course, we're going to talk about the election and all this kind of thing, right? And so I think Lactoid really brought this up well in his opener with the talk about the intent. I basically said, someone asked, it was Dev, he asked me, he goes, hey, well, if all that was presented to your standard, would you say that he's guilty of fraud or guilty of something at this point? And I go, well, then you have to figure out his intent. I think the fact that he's still looking for it does speak to that. I think the way you put it was very eloquently put. And I think it shows that, he does believe this. And I think it would prove that since he had the intent to find it, it wouldn't be fraud. Now, let's talk about this issue. I want to also welcome Mr. Hunter up here to the party of Texan, the group of people here. I'm glad to welcome you to the Government is Fucking Sus Club, and we shouldn't trust Big Government Club. I'm glad you're here. Now we'll just teach you some more things. I don't trust the government either. And so whenever you say, hey, maybe they're going to go in there and steal these originals and they're going to tamper with them, you know what? You might be goddamn right. You might be right. Government's fucking sus. You know what else is goddamn sus? I've been told for the last fucking 6 years, 4 years, 5 years, how many years? A while now. It all blurs together with the CTE that there was no chance of fraud. It was not. What's the word? It's not going to be enough to matter. Not going to be enough to matter. It's beyond not going to be a just different scale. Beyond a shadow of doubt. Well, it's just not a large percentage. There's no discern. What's the exact term I'm missing here? It'll come to me later. There's not enough fraud to be significant. That is like a determinative amount of fraud. Right. Well, guess what? Here we are in 2025 in the good year of our Lord. And guess what we find here? We find 315,000, 26. I can't even tell you the date, but we're finding out that there's 315,000 votes that went in there and they weren't done properly. Right. 123 boxes and they weren't done good. It was something fishy about it. We're told, hey, all they had to do was redo this. And then we're told this after we've been told there was nothing going on here. And then we see, now Fulton County's dropping their current case against Trump. Oh, man, Lord of the facts and the chickens are coming home to roost. And you know what? I think maybe we should take some look at because guess what? You know what? Biden won the presidency by in Georgia, 770-something votes, right? That's not much. Right? That's 11,000, basically 12,000. And we have 315,000 votes in question. I'm not even saying all of them are fraudulent. If you just slipped a couple boxes in, he wins Georgia. And so I'm also not one of these people saying this happened. But I think that there is a right to have some questions. Now we're seeing before the congressional hearings about the Dominion systems. And I think this is a good thing. I think it's always good to investigate the government because fuck the government. I don't trust them. However, I do think Staxi was right. What if he has the originals and he tampers with them? Yeah, well, he is the most socialist president of all time because that's all that ever happens. Each president takes more power. And that's kind of where I'm
at. Thank you so much. Let's go to Bam.
Yeah. It's like time goes by and we get to pretend that like no one was alive then and no one can remember what actually happened and none of the facts actually matter to this. They're saying that like, yeah, we should see what's going on. We should just see what's going on, because nobody did any investigation in the state of Georgia involving the action. We just didn't do it. We just said, you know what, it's fine, even though Donald Trump had 60 court cases, I think almost half of which were in the state of Georgia. I think like a quarter of which involved specifically Fulton County related to question of election fraud. And they did thorough investigations and found nothing to be at fault. The issue, the like 315,000 votes weren't done right. Oh my God, this is the craziest thing in the world. What actually happened is poll workers are volunteers. None of these people are professionals. This isn't something they do all year long. All that happened is I think a couple of poll workers in Fulton County didn't mark their signature at the end of the initial tabulated count of ballot. They didn't put a signature in on one of the documents. They had like 6 or 7 other places that they signed, but they found one signature that was missing in the initial count. But because the election was actually so close in the state of Georgia, it triggered an automatic runoff election and an automatic recount. Though the initial recount through the tabulators was properly signed and didn't match and verify the initial results. Trump then said, no, I don't trust the tabulators. I want them hand counted. So they did a third official count of the votes, at Donald Trump's request, of the physical ballots, one by one at a time, and these votes were also officially signed off at the exact same count of the first two. So the first initial ballot with the one time, those don't even count. Those weren't even the part of the official consequence of the game. So they did every court case all over the country. They lost them all. They did multiple counts on the election related to these votes. Trump lost them all. They were confirmed properly. And yet still, Donald Trump is he's not questioning. Donald Trump is taking the ballots, not because he's going to actually, not because he believes any of this, not because he can prove any of this. He's doing it because he wants to shift the narrative. He says things daily. Everyone in here would admit, even the biggest Trump lovers would admit that Trump says things that are verifiably untrue every day. And this is all he wants to do. He wants to create a narrative like, wow, they're getting the ballots. There must be something going on. And that's good enough for him. He just wants to be able to say, like, yeah, they did FBI investigation. Everything was going so poorly. But no, nothing is going to come from this. They did do plenty of investigations. And no, Trump doesn't believe this because everyone on his side, every lawyer, outside of Rudy Giuliani, everyone who, the voters in Fulton County, who the person over Georgia leadership who said that, like, Trump, I voted for you. I want you to win. You did not win this election. And he said, just find me 11,700 or whatever votes. Like, just make it happen. He doesn't believe it, any of this. That's it.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate you. Let's go to our friend Ali.
Yeah, so a little bit of a rebrand because I'm gonna go back to my TikTok live streams and such. It will be under my cousin Ali, so we just go by Ali, and we'll just move on forward from that.
But you want me to call you my cousin Ali?
No, you just call me Ali. That works. I'm saying
for my cousin Ali. No,
yeah, just the handle was my cousin Ali because it was good for like it being shared, right? Have you seen my cousin Ali's page? Boom, it worked out really well.
I like it.
Yeah, thank you. But
makes you human.
Yeah, no. So I second everything Bam said. But also in the way that, like, does Trump believe that he was robbed? I do. I think he does. I think he does. I think in the face of, like, everything, the guy doesn't believe that he could ever lose an election. He's super relentless. I remember when that movie about him was coming out, for a while I kept seeing this scene over and over about like you never admit the loss, you keep denying, you no matter what happens, you know, ruthless, so on and so forth. So I think that's kind of what's happening now, is that like maybe everyone around him is telling him he lost, but he doesn't care, right? He doesn't believe it. He's going to keep investigating it. And the Gibbs, I mean, like, you can keep saying big government this, big government that. I don't trust the guy who's the president if he's going to sit here and him be the one that is going to try to investigate the government. When he was doing it when he wasn't president, that makes more sense. When he's just some guy, I think he's on his he won this second time, right? He's on his revenge tour. He's kind of doing whatever the fuck he wants because he knows, like, well, I mean, this is well, what are they gonna do, right? They tried to jail me before, they couldn't do it. I'm just gonna do whatever I want to the extent of however I can, and to the extent that like his supporters will continue to support him. Right, MAGA will just continue to support it. This is like a huge claim. You guys are claiming that like an election was stolen, right? And this is I'm worried that the retribution when this claim comes out like just wrong, that the retribution isn't going to be as high. Claiming that the election was stolen is like, when I hear that, I hear like there was a coup. That there is no government anymore. You can't trust anyone. There's just going to be complete civil unrest, right? So if it's true, then yeah, you guys get to go crazy, and then like everyone goes not fair. But if it's not, then like I've asked this so many times before, because like I think the guy is gonna falsify documents. I think the guy is gonna attempt to, if he's healthy enough, run for a third term just to say that he could win it. Right? No. This all matters because you guys are saying from the other side that they stole the presidency from him, but then gave it back to him again. And I think that's I think it's a big claim. I think it's when your apology needs to be as loud as your claim is, and when you're wrong, that apology needs to be fucking loud. All right, that's all I'm saying. That's
I also don't like that you guys like say you don't know, but like you say it's possible, but you like you have. It doesn't seem like anyone's done any research into the facts of it, because I think even you guys know it's not true, and you don't want to like deal with that. But if this is a massive thing, if you believe it's even possible, you should probably look into it.
Okay, do you think it's possible? Sorry, go ahead, Corey.
So, it relates to it's a springboard off of BAM. Okay, so if I remember correctly, I think, and I could be mistaken, but I think Grid more or less like explicitly said like no investigations happens into the election. So I'm curious. So Lactoid, you like Grok, right? If I remember correctly. What do you think will happen? I'm a big Gork proponent. Yes. Yeah. Are you willing to read out if you ask Grok of like whether the 2020 presidential election was thoroughly investigated? Are you willing to read out the output of that? What do you think it'll say?
It would probably say that it wasn't, but
okay.
How do we know that's real?
Are you willing to read out, ask the question?
I don't believe it was stolen, just to be clear.
I know, but I'm just asking you, what do you think is going to be the output if you ask it? Whether
I think Gork is going to say it's not stolen. Am I right?
So you don't believe it was stolen?
See, this is it. He doesn't want to answer my question. What do you think? We can go two ways of like, I'm willing, as in I'm willing to wait for you to ask it the question and read out the output. Or what do you think? What do you think Grok will say when you ask it whether the 2020 presidential election was thoroughly investigated?
I just answered that.
Thoroughly.
I just answered that. I think Gork is going to say that there has been multiple investigations. It didn't find any fraud.
Okay, so Grid was wrong then in him saying that there's never been any investigations.
I would not agree with Grid if he said there's no investigations.
Cool. Wait, Lacton, wait. You don't believe that it was stolen?
No.
Okay, so then, like, doesn't it make it worse that you as a citizen don't believe that it's stolen, but the guy that's your president that you voted for believes that it's stolen to this extent, so far as to like continue investigations years later, and he's going to come up wrong, right? So like that tells you nothing.
I'm expecting him to come up wrong. Yeah.
Okay, and if it comes up wrong, you expect the apology to be as loud as the embarrassment. No, you don't. Should you expect that?
I mean,
because the claim this isn't like a small claim, right? This isn't a small claim, right?
What word do we use for someone that continues to believe something despite all evidence and even the evidence that they are actively like prompting?
Yeah, but hold on.
Delusional.
Letter D. Yeah. Okay. So
yeah. Okay. So like
delusional, right?
On this topic, I think he is delusional. Yes.
See, but what is with that? What is with this
topic? On this specific topic.
On this topic of oh my God, the claim is that the government stole the election from him. This is not a small claim. On this topic, he's delusional of being robbed of the presidency.
Hold on.
Correct.
And this is a small thing to you on the list of like where you judge someone as a president. Like this is like a small thing that a president does.
It's like
it's like okay for you that he's
definitely
okay.
It's obviously not. It's obviously not dispositive.
And if a Democrat did this, you'd be like, yeah, it's on this thing,
no,
but on everything
it wouldn't
else.
I mean, again, it wouldn't be dispositive, assuming that like his other policies were superior to his opposition. But then at that point, he wouldn't be a Democrat.
Okay. I don't know. I just want to see how many policies you criticize. I just want to know, like, like how many times you can criticize the policy or this thing or that thing before it's like it's just criticism and there really isn't much to like boast up about.
Hold on.
At a certain point, you're very critical, it seems, but then never really like there's no judgment.
Here, I'm gonna.
I do a varied analysis. Like I don't look at. For me, when I'm looking at like different candidates, I'm like calculating different policy positions they have, different personality quirks they have, and yeah, like the fact that Donald Trump, his wife, is naked and everyone can go see it. It's a little bit of a that's kind of weird. The fact that he was cheating on his wife with Stormy Daniels, most likely, that's also pretty bad. And the fact that they're currently
the government stole the election.
I'm getting to that. I'm
Oopsie daisy.
Literally was just about to say that.
Oopsie daisy.
The fact that I believe that he, I think this is his ego talking. I think that he can't imagine a world in which he loses an election.
Yes.
He has such a high self-regard, and so in 2020, when I believe he lost the election, he just brain broke him on this topic.
The brain broken person is the person that you then voted for in 2020.
It's not even he just says it though. He also attempted to like kill politicians and overthrow the government.
Whoa. He attempted to kill politicians.
He didn't want them to stop. It's like they literally said.
This is the problem. Let me explain. This is the problem.
Pretty upset.
Oh God, no! This is the problem. Like I just let me just emphasize this. So in a showing of good faith, I am giving a concession as to something I don't like about Donald Trump, and you guys take this and you do two things simultaneously. One, you say, well, this is this one criticism. Obviously, this should be dispositive as to your entire political view, Lactoid. And two, you exaggerate it to make it far worse than it actually was. Donald Trump was trying to kill politicians. Come on.
He was open to it. But
no, he was not.
We're moving on.
That's a bold claim.
I'm not saying he done it because I don't think he did it at all. But let's say,
but can you show that he wanted to?
Two would be too far. But like,
hold on, I could.
You could,
and you would be like,
wait, hold on. I'll make a softer claim a little bit. I would say that his supporters, a sizable minority of them, came to the Capitol with the explicit purpose to stop Mike Pence and brought weapons to do so, and that Donald Trump had the chance to stop them and was reported to have not done so. So those are the facts, and I think that it's whatever. I'm not going to make a claim like he tried to kill Mike Pence, but I do think that those facts are pretty indisputable.
Let's get Lennon Gibbs.
Yeah, I mean, so it's kind of where I'm at. Right? Like, I don't trust any of these big government people. Right? I think it's, I don't know if I go so far as he's throwing a coup or all this other bullshit like we're trying to say. Right. Hold on, but when we're sitting here going, okay, this is maybe where I'm at. Like, I sit here and I go, I listen to all this. But like it's because I keep getting lied to, and like I've known I've been getting lied to, and then I've been just told I'm an idiot because I'm like I think I'm getting lied to, and y'all like, yeah, you're an idiot. And like let me just give some examples, okay? And like I was told, and not by anybody on this panel specifically,
you could say me.
No, I've
called you an idiot.
No, I'm not talking. No, that's fine. I would just say you call me an idiot. I think people on this panel, many people have called me an idiot on this panel, but nobody on this panel specifically.
I haven't called you an idiot.
Says you need to GDP in the first quarter.
Shut up.
But many people like on like other panels and on TV have told me with a straight face for several years now, the illegals don't get Medicaid. I'm going to tell you how this relates back in a second. And I go, well, now we know they do get Medicaid. I was told, hey, that's not happening 100% of this. Then I was told, oh, all this other shit, fraud, all these things. There's no NGOs where the money's coming back to deep water and like PACs and coming back over here. Oh, and then all that ended up being true. And then I'm coming over here going, oh, well, there's never election fraud. Then we had the case of Connecticut with the mayor. okay, if it can happen at a local level, then that means it can happen at a small, like at any level, really, because it's just like a matter of scale, right? And so when we come to Georgia, I was told, Fulton County, they got Trump, they got him. Giuliani, they had this like lawsuits. Oh, Lordy, they're guilty of sin for coming after him. It was bad. But now, oh shit, the most recent Trump lawsuit,
everything we said
gets dropped. Hold on, I'm getting to it. Listen, y'all been talking for 20 minutes. I gotta go through it.
You're gonna pretend you don't know the details though. You're gonna just say,
oh no, I'm going through the details. We got this case dropped. And then, it's amazing how that got dropped. And then all of a sudden we do this investigation and we find out there was an irregularity. You can say there wasn't, but we were told there was no irregularity. Hold on. There wasn't irregularity.
We got to let our friend Gibbs. He has been waiting.
There was an irregularity, and I was told there was no irregularity by many years, by many analysts, by people on the mainstream, by people on panels. I was told I was crazy, right? Yeah. And I go, they're going to go down here and look. Listen, when an election is determined by 12,000 or less votes, that's a close election. That's 0.27%, I think was what the number was for this election difference, right? Then I was told another lie. We now have people testifying in Congress that Dominion, y'all remember Dominion? Fox News, they had a big settlement about this. They were told they were defaming them. There was no access outside of here. Now we have people coming forward at congressional hearings saying, hey, not only do they have some on servers, we had people come in and access this. So, okay, I'm not saying I'm convinced there was a steal. I am convinced that I want some more shit being dug into at multiple levels. I think maybe I would like these questions answered. And I don't think it's unreasonable for me to go, hey, I don't think there's evidence to say there's a steal yet. But you motherfuckers have been doing some such shit and lying to our face. And I think it's about time we go in there and we take a closer look at shit. And y'all going, Lord, that's bad. When did you start trusting government? Because I never have.
Why can Trump lie to you? Why is that okay?
Like you don't trust government, but you trust the president.
No, it's not about trust. You know when Trump lies to you, but it's okay.
Why are we taking this avenue?
He tells it as it is.
Because this is the avenue I want to take. I want to know why. Like, why are we talking about like government's lying to you? Trump promised you $2,000 tariff checks. Why are you okay with them lying to you? Why didn't you bring that up as like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that? Why is it okay for him to lie to you?
Because it's called, sell high.
Does he get a pass? What, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, why does he get a pass to lie to you? And like everything else is like, I heard there's a irregularity, even though we know exactly what the irregularity.
Yeah, but y'all told me there was no irregularity. Y'all told me it didn't happen.
No, we said it wasn't fucking stolen. We didn't say that there wasn't. It's not possible that someone missed a fucking signature somewhere.
There was no.
The votes
discernible.
This fucking Zoom Gibbs,
like a key amount that came in here. It was not.
There's nothing wrong with the votes.
It was a small amount. It wasn't a discernible difference.
And that's true. There wasn't a discernible difference.
Hold on. All right. This is all I'm asking. Let's just dumb it down real quick, and I'll be done. There's 315,000 that are in this discrepancy, right?
No, use the right words. Stop saying
irregularity.
They missed the signature at the bottom. They verified 2 times later.
So an irregularity.
No one says there's no irregularity, bro. No one's saying that.
It's a problem. Cool. But I was told it was not a discernible difference.
It's not.
Okay, hold on. Is there 11? If there's 12,000 votes decided an election, and there's 315 in question, I think it's worth maybe the Fed coming in and taking a gander.
Hold on. Two things. First off, you just described a non-discernible difference. But the second thing, 300 is less than 12,000. That is correct.
315K.
We need a fact check on that.
Wait.
So the amount of votes in question.
Let me whip out Gork real quick.
It's 350.
Now you're willing to look up something, right?
11,770 that determined the election. It's 0.276.
But there's a regularity.
And I even said maybe most of those votes were fine, but if it's a difference is only 12,000 votes, then you can slip a couple of boxes.
So every single vote is now in question because there's just one missing signature.
Those 315, yeah.
Those votes were counted 3 times.
315K though, right? You're saying 315K?
I think so, yeah. 153
every single
boxes.
Vote in Fulton County.
I think, we need to take another.
Hold on. I'm okay with taking another look. That's what
only at those 315,000, not all of Fulton County.
We
just
looked at those votes
boxes
3 times. We recounted them.
I don't trust those. I think we need another one.
Okay, why not look at the copies then? Why are we taking the original?
He didn't tell me.
Donald Trump requested one of them by hand, and then the
judge was handing it over in 2 fucking weeks.
Wait,
and the FBI
I need
said,
to know.
we're
I need
gonna
to know their
fucking
names.
seize
Of
this
the,
shit.
No, if it's good,
Which agency?
Wait, who picked up the votes? Tell me every single officer that went in to pick up the votes and why you trust them.
That's a good question.
I just said,
I want
well, they're under the authority of the DOJ, though, right? So it is technically different.
Names?
Yeah, I want a chain of authority or whatever the fucking legal.
I know
term is.
Tulsi Gabbard was there. I can give you one name, but I don't know who else.
She was there.
Why was she there? This isn't even her department.
To make sure shit was going good.
there.
Wait, hold on. But the Trump administration did lie about that, right? They said it was a coincidence, and then later it was clarified that she was asked to be there.
Hold on. Just to be clear, what I've heard is that the initial statement was she happened to be close by, and so then she went, and then they clarified later that she was asked to go. Both could be true. She could have been close by, and then Trump asked her to go, and that would be consistent with both statements.
Yeah,
Okay, I heard that it was like a coincidence that she was in
redneck
the
word of the
area.
day. So
Yeah, that would be a hell. That would be a hell of a coincidence.
Yeah, no, okay. I could be wrong about the quote. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I could be wrong too. So if I am wrong on that, then
for sure. But wait, hold on, Lactoid. I do want to say, like, I don't understand your approach necessarily, like, because I get that you're saying, look, I voted for Trump.
I did.
I totally understand your perspective as a conservative who cares about small government, who cares about, conservative Supreme Court justices. What I don't understand is being on this panel and recognizing that psychos like Gibbs are going to necessarily make you lose the midterms, and you don't want to say anything against them.
We're gonna lose them. We're gonna lose the midterms regardless of whatever Gibbs says.
Hold on. But people like Gibbs, the
Lactoid has no hope whatsoever. He's
no, hold on. Like what is it? Since like the 1930s, like there's only been like what 6 or 7 times in which like the party, or less than that, maybe 3. I don't remember the exact number.
I think Gibbs still probably believes that he's probably going to win the midterms.
It's like a vanishingly small like percentage of the time that like the party that wins the election wins the midterms. It's very low.
No. Okay, that's
fine.
Why don't you want to wait from Gibbs?
No,
why don't you want to go back to the conservative?
No, you didn't. Hunter. I am, but
sorry, we can have 2 different conversations. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, you guys Lactoiding. Yeah.
Okay, I am but one man. Okay,
that's the fallacy of the
remember, I voted for the.
We're
I
all
voted
just
for
one person.
Yeah, I voted for president 3 times, and I only voted for Trump once. The other 2 times I voted for the Libertarian Party candidate.
Sure.
And that is a more ideal candidate to me, but they can't win. They get their ass kicked every time. It's very unfortunate. And so do I have problems with the Republican base right now, especially like especially on this particular claim? I do have problems with it, but to me, that's not going to be dispositive on comparing them to the Democrats. And by the way, I'm sure you believe this too, because I'm sure you don't agree with the Democrats on everything either. But you say, look, they're bad on XYZ issue, but look at Trump is so much worse, right?
I'm totally with picking and choosing issues and recognizing that Trump is largely better than Democrat. I mean, I obviously fundamentally disagree with that, even though I'm obviously well, what's the term I'm working with you guys? Collaborating.
A collaborator, yes.
Yeah,
collaborator.
You're a hand washer.
I didn't say you're a collaborator.
You hand wash fascism.
Wait, hold on. Do you believe that Trump is a fascist?
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, what?
I'm going to say hand wash forever.
I'm a liberal, and you think Trump is a fascist, and you say liberals can collaborate with fascists. So I'm collaborating with Trump.
Collaborating with that fascist, though, did I?
Other fascists.
Which fascist?
Franco.
Wait, I'm just curious. Like even
Mussolini.
Wouldn't you
vote
for
Joe Biden? It's going to be a massive distraction. Did you vote for Joe Biden?
Me? Absolutely.
Yeah,
of course he did.
You defend Joe Biden?
It's because he's Mossad, bro.
Do I defend Joe Biden?
To the death, I will.
I would say largely for the majority, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, see, exactly, right.
Joe Biden is a fascist.
Yep.
No, I didn't say Joe Biden was a fascist, right? I say Joe Biden being a liberal is a handmaiden to fascists as well.
No, but wait, what am I doing? What am I doing?
You are supporting.
No, I can draw the link for you. I know what you're about to say.
It's just Gaza. That's all it.
Yes, Biden supported Netanyahu, and you say Netanyahu is a fascist. Therefore,
I think Trump was a
exactly.
property.
Yeah, hold on. Sorry, hold on. This is because you're a disgusting fucking liberal. And you say, oh, it just goes back to Gaza.
Hold on. What's your fucking solution? You just vote for a fucking third party and don't do shit.
Hold on. No, it's have standards as always.
If we get the Saudis to build the Israeli island in the Mediterranean,
like I said, you're a fucking.
Wait. Can I? Prime. Let me explain something to Hunter.
This is the energy I want with you towards Gibbs.
No. Hear me out.
This type of inner fucking fighting. It's like, I don't see this between you and Gibbs.
Like even on this one issue, just push back.
Hold on.
Stop being dumb.
We fight all the time.
So what you're seeing, and there's some background. There's some background here on Hunter that maybe you're not aware of. So, both Prime and Ollie have a fundamentally different understanding of how politics should be approached than you or I or Gibbs or really I think anybody else on this panel. Yeah, where. For me and I'm guessing there are like kind of utilitarian calculuses that we make when it comes to politicians, but they have a different view of this. What their worldview is, there are certain policies that are disqualifying for a presidential candidate, and it doesn't matter who they're up against. They can't vote for somebody who's done X, Y, Z. And in this case, it was their actions in Gaza.
Which, just to be clear, I would probably call that collaborating with a fascist. Just to be clear, not voting against Donald Trump's main opposition.
I know. Hey,
that's the biggest fucking fight against fascism that you guys can do, and you guys fail.
That's such a boring argument from you guys.
Whatever, that's fine. We can move on.
Yeah, no, you're a fucking collaborator, right? So like, you wanted to answer, I gave you a fucking answer.
That's fair.
You're a fucking collaborator.
That's fine.
Fucking hand
washer. On this issue in particular, like
no, don't go. Let's not go on that issue. Let's.
I'm not talking about the Biden. I'm going back to the topic. Okay. That's what I'm saying. On this issue in particular, why can't you? I'm about to say, like, why can't you stir up the fight here? Even if because it's just bad. I like Trump, I support Trump, but just be like, let's not do this election stuff.
I called it delusional, Bam. What more do you want from me?
I want you to fight hard.
You want me to get angry?
Be angry that the guy voted for.
Well, no, because
a little bit.
Because here's why. This isn't a topic that I get that
at a certain point.
It's not enough. Okay, hold on. It's not enough for me to be logically consistent now. Now you just want me to emote a certain level when it comes to.
No.
No, I'm just not that passionate about this particular issue.
It is weird. It is weird.
I am passionate about that one.
It is weird when that like you come on this panel every Monday, right? And I feel like you fight. You have to defend your Trump vote quite often, not just here.
Correct.
I know, right? At a certain point, it's like, God, bro, the guy gives you so much to fucking defend. It's like your friend keeps embarrassing you. Your friend keeps fucking you over, right? This is the person you voted for. At a certain point, it's like you got to be mad at your friend, and you got to hold your friend to some account, not just what can you fucking do? That's all you get. What can you fucking do?
After, I say, what do you want me to do after I'm critical of a particular position?
What's critical?
By the way, I am
criticized.
Hold up. I am affirmatively critical.
Criticism is everything.
It's not that.
It's
not that I.
Pundits.
Okay, stop. Well, true.
No.
That's actually a good point.
I'm saying like when people say they're critical, that doesn't mean anything. That just means,
of course, it does.
When you say something is bad, that's not you being critical, right?
But that's all we do here, right? It's
I'm putting my name behind. Yeah, look. So I'm not only critical of this because first of all, I agreed to come on a panel where this was the topic. I knew this was going to be talked about, and I gave my position. But I will be affirmatively critical. I will make unprompted posts, and I will bring up unprompted criticisms of Donald Trump. Like I'm not just like hiding in the background, and then like whenever anybody really presses me on something, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess it's bad. That's not what I'm doing.
I think it's not great that we're holding Black Toilet's feet to the fire instead of fucking Gibbs and
Grid and Gibbs.
They're searching for allies.
Kind of just say, fuck it. We agree with Trump. We don't give a fuck.
I hear that. That's true.
They come and they say it with their chest. That's like an issue.
I hear you.
Stop. We got a super chat. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this out. We're gonna go to Gibbs because Gibbs is up next. Anyway, Gibbs just said this in the debate on WIC TV. I think he's talking about like not or making a prediction. So he made a prediction just, I guess, 2 hours ago. He doesn't care what you say. He will ignore everyone's statements to continue his BS. Thank you, my listening library. Much appreciated. $5 super chat, right? You respond to that, Gibbs.
Yeah,
Obviously.
frankly, that's fake news. I stand by all my statements. I bite all the bullets. Nobody does any more of that than me. And awesome. Right,
he actually does.
That's actually pretty good.
More bullets than fucking.
I appreciate it. But here, so when I'm sitting here, I'm listening to this, right? I'm just going, this is crazy work. This is crazy work, right? We've just been lied to about what kind of fraud's going down. Right. I'm seeing all this, and this is actually kind of where I'm going to break away from Grid a little bit. I think that the Somalis are showing that they have extremely high IQ because they went from low level piracy to high level white collar crime. And God, I think it's impressive. The level of fucking crime they were able to commit. It's goddamn very impressive.
What level
I think that we should give them credit where credit's due. And that's why I think we need, that's why we need to stop arguing about IQ shit. Because if they're that stupid and they did this to us, how dumb are we? So, hey, I don't know. I'm just saying maybe that's not the argument we should take. But I will say this shit is it's crazy when I was told there's no fraud, and then we seen billions and billions, and then I was told, oh, there's no feedback loop with NGOs, and it's coming back here to go into Democratic platforms. Then we're seeing this. I think maybe it's worth going and seeing how deep the rot goes, because now it seems like Walls and Omar and other key leadership was implicit based off New Testament, right? Maybe they knew the whole time this shit was going out. And so now I want to see, did it actually influence the national election? Because I don't trust y'all's fucking previous fucking inquiries. It didn't seem like y'all found shit. And now I think we're finding stuff. And it doesn't even seem like it was that hard to find. Citizen journalists, maybe they weren't accurate 100% of the time, but they at least stumbled on a little bit of it. And where there's a little, there's usually a lot. And so I'm just
going to be a single arrest.
Well, there's already been
fucking Nick Shirley.
I mean, just that's one example. Dr. Oz just put some out shit out too. You think Dr. Oz is more credible? He's a media personality for many years.
I mean, Dr. Oz.
There were arrests under the Biden
Dr. Oz is probably right. Hold on, Dr. Oz is probably right, by the way, about some of the things that he's saying.
Of course he is, because he's a credible news personality who's been around for years.
I mean, and Superman joined ICE. I don't
know. Dr. Oz? He's literally been going to be a fraud.
So Prime.
You guys think ICE was more credible?
So you think a fraudster would know how to find fraud? Yes or no? Hold on. A fraudster would know how to find fraud, right?
Prime. So apply that to Trump too. Then
that's psychotic.
Prime. So the meme.
The
meme is that Dr. Oz, because he's Turkish, and he's like spending all this time going after their Armenian fraudsters in LA. There's like a kind of geopolitical broader point to be made there. It's kind of funny. But some of the data they're pulling out of that is actually pretty hilarious.
He's also a
within if a Lebanese guy started investigating Williamsburg, listen, the credibility kind of goes down a little.
Hold on. What I'm saying is that the actual numbers they're pulling out is these Armenian areas are vastly disproportionately represented in terms of government money for at-home healthcare. Stunningly overrepresented.
It's 18% nationwide.
Despite being it's fucking lunacy.
You can point out a number, but before we get arrest.
I think there's going to be arrests.
Trump does this all the time. He opens investigations biggest thing ever, and then it just
there's been a couple investigations into Armenian power and stuff regarding these specific kinds of frauds. In fact, there was just recently there was over 100 people that were recently convicted. I think it's called Operation Lights Out or power outage or something.
But my question here is with this lactoid is what is y'all's objection to let's see how deep the rot goes? Clearly there's some rot going on here. It's time to go and look deeper. I
can give you an objection. I can give you an objection. But I will do that. And hold me to it.
Are you about to argue states' rights? That's what I'm hoping.
Sorry, no. Actually, no. Actually, I'm about to. Actually, no. You got me. Yeah,
I knew it.
But before then, I do want to address one thing. Two things. One, just about Trump's use of intimidation within our corporate world, right? In case you don't know, right? I've said this before in the Reverie, and I just reconfirmed this. I was going to ask it a question. I asked Gemini a question about Trump, right? And you know what? Gemini doesn't give you an answer. If you ask a question about President Trump, instead it just gives you a regular Google search. Good or bad, doesn't matter what you're asking. It doesn't want to answer about Trump anymore. Go ahead, give it a try. But it does it for other presidents. It's fine. Interesting, right? Because of course they're all terrified of what Trump will do to them. Because he's a retaliatory individual. But what I was asking it about was to push back against an assertion that just everyone's just kind of like agreed here that Trump believes that he won the election 2020. He's actively said that he hasn't. Right. So this is from, I guess, 2020. I figured I'm trying to figure out what year this is. 2021. But anyway, or sometime later. Sometime it might be a different year. Hold on, I might get the year wrong. But anyway, the quote is, he's having a discussion in front of immigration officers, and it's a rant within this piece. But he goes on to say, this was the last week in office for me because of a terrible, horrible election where I got many millions more votes than I got the first time, but I didn't quite make it, just a little bit short. He admits he didn't actually make it. He didn't beat. And then in a podcast of Les Friedman, he says it again. He says he uses different words, but he says it again that he misses it by a whisker, right? I don't think he actually believes this, and I believe there's another time. I think this was on Air Force One, but I haven't found the transcript on that. So excuse me. Where he like also mentions this. He like says it that he didn't do it. It's rare that he does that, but he says it. That, I lost. And so I don't actually believe that he doesn't know. I think he's a liar. He's been a liar his entire fucking life, a fraudster. And I believe that he has a grudge. That I believe.
But I would have a grudge too. If I was taken to court where the prosecutor had to be dismissed for withholding evidence, I'd be pretty pissed off.
How many of his?
By the way, I know the instances you're referring to, and each one of those, like, you could read that in a way that indicates that like he's admitting that he lost, even though every like
It's
literally he's clarified both times that like he's not in office, so he's not the president, but that the reason why he was short on votes is because of fraud. He is consistently whenever questioned on those specific
he makes a mistake, and then afterwards he says, "Oh no, I didn't actually mean that." Yeah,
why do we care?
Yeah, no, I know. I know that he's saying that right now. He's saying right now that there was election interference. Yeah, this is rare that he says this.
He even says it in private.
He does say it. And then later on, he goes, "Oh yeah, I didn't actually mean." Yeah, he accidentally lets it slip.
No, even on private calls that have been recorded, like even on those calls, he is like indicating that he believes it was stolen. Like I just and then when you bring up like specific statements that when you read them out, that is not like clearly saying that he acknowledges the election wasn't rigged. It's not what that at all means.
It says literally. Okay,
what does it matter if he believes it?
Why do we? Here's why it matters. Here's why it matters.
Hold on. I've been very quiet this whole time. I've been letting you guys just roll down this like weird path for fucking ever. What does it matter? He's now got the FBI involved because Georgia State wouldn't let anybody outside of Georgia State look at it. And you know what? To me, that smells like corruption.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't fucking know. Does that smell like corruption to you? If I'm investigating myself, if I'm counting, I'm asked to authorize the votes that I counted and authorize them again. Well, gee, that's not contradictory.
Yeah, it would be corruption. For instance.
Oh, by the way, he was also taken to court where the cases were dismissed because the prosecutor purposefully withheld evidence. That's insane. You guys sitting here going around chasing your fucking tails about nothing.
I'm glad you admitted that because it would also be corruption.
The FBI's in that now.
It would also be corruption if DHS investigated DHS to see if DHS committed an illegal shooting, right? That would also be corruption, correct?
It's like internal affairs.
I don't understand what that has to do with the fact that
no, you're saying like
internal prosecutors
they turn off their brain.
Georgia internal prosecutors are not prosecutors. Their internal measures are the only ones that ever counted that.
I have a consistent check after that.
If one organization says that like they are not guilty of doing something illegal, right? That would be wrong. Like it's
sure that's true across the board. I agree that would hold on. That's a great fucking point, Brian. That's a great fucking point because if DHS found their officers not guilty, you would say, well, Let's have somebody else fucking look at it. And that's what
yes, I would
right
say that. Yeah, I agree with you.
So why do you have
agree with you?
Why are you fighting right now? Why the 30-minute fucking cope that we just had?
Why are you freaking the fuck out? I don't know why. I don't know why you're freaking out. I'm just saying.
I'm making fun of you. I'm making fun of you.
Check. And then, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Because it was a massive amount of cope about why Donald Trump wants the recount again.
Cope here, right? Like, I just asked like, hey.
Could I ask
would it be okay?
I would like to go after
I'm talking right now. No, you can't ask right now because I'm talking right now. 1 second.
Okay, I'm gonna wait till you're done talking.
I asked. Okay, raise your hand. I asked, hey, like, is a consistency check. You're saying agencies investigating themselves is wrong. So I just asked, hey, would that be a problem?
Yeah, that's wrong.
Situation? Yeah. Great. Okay. Now
you're absolutely right that if the DHS, if there's any scent of, hey, there's something wrong here, then absolutely an outside agency can look into it for sure.
Then I agree. Then I agree with you. Then
why the half hour code about Donald Trump wanting the FBI to
and for elections? 1 second. I'm literally trying to agree with you. 1 second. Calm down. Stop freaking out. I'm saying also for elections, yes, we should have outside examiners. We can't just have an agency say that, like, hey, we did there was nothing wrong, right? We should always have outside auditors, right? For anyone, right? In any position. I agree.
That's what I'm doing. I'm almost positive that happened.
Yeah.
Why are we pretending that Fulton County's own people or own people?
Gibbs had his hand up first. Lactoid, and then anyone else? Bam, you want to go, or Hunter? Which one? Okay, Bam.
Yeah, I just hold on. Go to Lactoid first. I'm sorry.
Okay. A couple things. To answer the question directly, the reason why it matters if he thinks it or not is because if he doesn't think it, then that would, I think, make it fraud and kind of, I think, exponentially worse than somebody who is making a mistake. Right? There is a huge
also
difference
wasting
there,
resources and money.
Sure. Right. And also then that opens up a whole new can of worms as to all of his other actions as well. So there's that. That's why that's important. But I got a question, I guess, for the what was it? The the hand washers of fascism, the boot scrubbers, such as my friends Bam and Hunter here. My question for you is, let's say, for argument's sake, let's say that all of a sudden the DOJ starts dropping information that, holy shit, this wasn't released before, Georgia was stolen. And the DNC collaborated. There was DNC agents that made it happen. Are you guys ever voting for the Democratic Party again, or are you going to demand a complete overhaul before you continue to give it support?
It will be the people involved. I mean, if every single politician involved, democracy matters. I'm an institutionalist. We're nothing, regardless of the values of what you believe in. We're nothing without our institution.
Yeah,
so, I don't know. If something of that scale happened, that would be. I wouldn't vote for Republicans. But I'm
not saying you have to vote Republicans, but I think that would because correct me, I'm not wrong on this. The 2024 election, so much of the opposition to Trump was based on this particular question. Right, the 2020 the election denial claims, and then January 6th, and all the things leading from that. I mean, if it turns out that the election was actually stolen, I mean, this would seemingly justify almost everything Trump has done.
Yeah, I was one of the first people to say that. Say that about January 6th. I was like, which is what makes it Trump's responsibility. I was like, you're telling people to believe that the elections were stolen. Like that is the response you should do. We should attempt to overtake the government if the election has actually been stolen from you. But the thing is that wasn't true because Trump was alive.
I don't think it's likely. I'm just saying that if that what a strange timeline that would be.
It would. And I'm consistent on that. Again, I don't think that. I think that other people would give vague answers on that. I don't know.
Just to be clear, if if that happens, if it actually turns out that Trump was right the whole fucking time and I just didn't see it, I'm gonna have to just holy shit. I'm gonna have to eat crow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say, Grid and Gibbs, you guys are right. I'm gonna totally.
I think it's fair.
I'm not even saying that's.
But we're not basing this on the investigation. Isn't nothing. I just want to say it's not like we're just looking at it. We know what he's looking at them based off of, and
I'm extremely concerned, and I said this in my opening statement. I am extremely concerned of them grabbing the original copies or the originals rather than the copies, which they had access to under the judge, and they within 2 weeks, they would have been handed to. So I do think if the DOJ releases all this information about what the originals said and it counteracts what the copy said, I do think that it's possible that there is something fishy going on that the DOJ is doing. But to answer your question, if it is kind of without a reasonable doubt that the 2020 election was stolen and that the Democrats were at fault for that, I would say who, and I would never vote for them. And if the DNC doesn't immediately thrust them out, I don't know if I would vote for any.
Oh, you have principles, huh?
Well, what if it was rigged like in Georgia, but it wasn't, like it was by several thousand votes, like it wasn't dispositive, like it wouldn't have changed the outcome, but it's clear that there was like a significant amount of election rigging.
Like, is it like
that's
like
a hard question? I don't know.
Like,
I'm
asking it. Yeah.
I would have a real come to Jesus moment. I don't know what specifically I would do. I don't know if I would never. I think I would still vote for Democrats probably, but that would really shake my foundation.
But let's just clarify. I answer your question, but clarify that that's not what we're looking for right now. That's not what any of this is based off of. It's not based off of like we don't know what's going on or we're just checking things out. None of that's what's actually happening right now. Where, like I said, Trump based this off of a clerical error on an initial vote count that wasn't even a finalized count. We know that for 100%.
Yeah, but hold on. But we don't know what all information the DOJ is taking.
Sure, now that they have them, they can say whatever. But I'm just saying that none of this is based off of that. Like we're not based off of like we're just.
No, I don't think. I think what it's based on. I think ultimately what's happening is the DOJ is gathering information because Donald Trump believes that the Georgia election was stolen from him. That's what I think is happening. I don't think that like
I don't that specific place. Like if he had it his way, he would recount every election, every county, and every state in the union. But that's not what he's doing. He has to base it off of a reason, and he's basing it off of this clerical error in this county.
Okay,
relate to the initial signatures that were recounted 2 more times. I was about to say, and then the to Grit's point about like outside investigators looking at things. Yes, outsiders can look at things, but not at like that still has to be within. It should still be within the state. It's the state of Georgia. Like states manage their own elections. I'm sorry, but conservatives used to be pro states' rights. I don't know.
Well, I'm very.
I'm going to get to that.
But I'm saying that like states manage their own elections. Like Fulton County's local poll
people handle the election results. The votes are public record. I mean, literally, the DOJ getting them is not an infringement of states' rights.
It is because the Secretary of State, the state of Georgia,
manages public
their
record.
Election. They reaccount. They were entitled to the copies. Taking the original copies from the state of Georgia was absolutely infringing on state rights. Because Georgia has a right to run their elections the way they choose, and Georgia these are Georgia's ballots. The federal government.
That's interesting. Let's talk about that for a second. I think we need to go back and do a little history.
And they were again, but I'm saying they were just clarifying what you were saying. Like, oh, they should be recounted by outside sources. They should, and they were, but those outside sources were the Georgia Secretary of State's office.
Well,
which is different from the Fulton County office. That is an outside source.
Here's what I think about that.
Trump source.
Here's what I think about that, man. And I think we need to go back into history and do a little history lesson. And let's just talk about states' rights, right? Let's look at the nullification crisis and what happened there back in the day. Well, first they came in, they said they were going to, had all these powers and they can nullify law. And then what did Andrew Jackson do? He passed the Force Act saying he's going to come shoot the shit out of them. And they're like, oh, you know what? Maybe we back off, right? Okay. So then we go a little further down in history. There was another thing that happened. The evil slave-owning Dems, you called it the, War of Northern Aggression, and the based, abolitionist Republicans called it the Civil War. And what happened is they came down and they shot the slavery and states' rights out of the evil Democrats. That's what happened, right? And then the Democrats fled and rebranded and turned into modern.
Oh, they fled.
Right?
Every Democrat went to the North.
So they got shot out of them. Right? They got shot out of them. And no more states' rights. And guess what? Federalism reigns supreme. We have the separation until they don't. And they got Big Daddy government come and drops his dick on it. Like that's what has happened in history.
Why do the Southern Republicans
now you're gonna sit here?
I wish you were my history teacher back when I was a kid. Like honestly, shout to you.
And then now what's happening? Real interesting thing. The Democrats are in where a southern former slave-owning state in Georgia, defending once again. Separation of powers, defending states' rights. Wow, how history repeats itself. Lord, how times haven't changed at all. And then it's crazy how the Republicans are the ones saying, we got to go in there and we got to shoot this bullshit out of them. And, y'all are saying, oh, it's a switch. No, It's just the facts. And so I'm not surprised that the Dems want to sit here and want to hide an election fraud. They're afraid of another look, and they're going to sit here and use states' rights and institutionalism as a crutch, because that's what they always do.
The irony is Gibbs saying that in that suit is not lost on me at all.
Yeah. So I'm going to go to Hunter next. But first we got a super chat. It says Prime, read my super chats. I always do. I read the last one. Maybe you missed that, though. I did read it. It says, what if presidential electees attempt to overthrow, maybe nominees, to overthrow elections down the line due to the effectiveness of Trump's attempt, or maybe electors? I'm not
you
sure.
mean the
fail? I don't know what
electee is. The thing that allegedly failed? I mean,
overthrow elections.
If it turns out that Trump did win, and he was cheated out of the election, does he get his third term?
No. But
actually,
why
I think what he's saying.
I do want to know what that does imply. If we can have that conversation after.
So, I think what he's saying here, or they actually, I don't know your sex, but your gender, excuse me, but I don't know. I think what they're saying is that, hey, if we don't prosecute, right, a crime, as you look at it, being Jan 6, right, being this attempt to overthrow, if they don't prosecute that, then what if someone else tries to do the same thing again, right? Oh, okay, well, there's no consequence. Why don't I give it a try, right? Why don't I try to overthrow the election?
I mean, that's exactly what will happen if the Democrats do take back power and do some virtue signaling, but no one actually goes to jail. That's what it's telling you. It's telling you that okay, what Trump did worked, and we should the Republicans should absolutely continue to do so. Forget law, forget the Constitution, do what you want.
No, so in the future, in the future, if there's another person who is running for president and genuinely believes that the election was stolen from them, and so in response to this, they make a big hoopla using their First Amendment rights all over the media and in their speeches, and then they consult with their attorney as to looking towards potentially legal ways to challenge the result.
I don't think that's the implication.
I have no problem. I'm retorting to it. What I'm saying is that nothing Trump did is something that I'd be afraid of another president doing.
Okay, all right. Hunter.
I don't remember putting my hand up.
Well, I thought you made a response to Gibbs. You asked. Okay, well that's fine.
What did it? I don't think so. Maybe.
Yeah, you said something, but it's okay. It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Next in line.
No, don't worry. I mean, it's it's a betrayal, but it's fine.
You'll get used to that from me, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you're a collaborator.
No, exactly.
Wait, I just want to preface this because I know, and I want to go to my sweet baby Ali right after this because he has something important to say. But
I'm sorry.
It was cousin.
No,
that's my baby. That's
cousin Ali.
It's a different relationship over here.
Exactly. Yeah. But I'm not gonna pretend that Pam Bondi's not gonna come out and say something that's completely untrue and unverifiable. Because if that's the comeuppance that you're looking for, this proves it all. That the DOJ, this DOJ has the ballots. They're gonna come out and say something. They're gonna say we've got it, folks. Just the Epstein files are on my desk. Pam Bondi's gonna come out and say the voter fraud is on my desk. Mm-hmm. We've proved it, and nothing ever is gonna come from it. But Grid, Gibbs, the ilk are gonna come out and say, "There you go, Trump was right all along."
Well, they don't even need that. He just needs a tweet from someone vaguely in power, and he'll be like,
Benny Johnson.
I told you guys.
Benny Johnson usually works.
Yeah. I told you guys. I'm always vindicated. Sometimes it takes 6 years for someone to say that I'm not crazy.
No.
But
so Grid, if this comes out true, right? Basically, we live in a world where let's just say Trump isn't implicated in the Epstein files, right? His name was just there because they were associates, and he never really did anything. And then also there is this voter fraud, right? Realistically, what do you think happens, or what do you want to happen?
Oh, I have no idea.
Well, I guess maybe Lacto can answer that.
I'll take a stab at it.
But then also on the inverse, what happens when it isn't true and he's on the Epstein like files in some like meaningful way, right? Like both worlds are like these are the only two worlds we can live in, right? Unless there's a weird world where like there isn't voter fraud, but he also wasn't on the list. Like we can do it, but like this right now, the worlds that we're living in are he's either not on the list, and this is all kind of justified, and he had voter fraud happening to him, or he was on the list, he never had voter fraud, and this is all just like
you're asking me like what would I think about the various combinations? Is that the question?
No, I'm saying like, well, what's the outcome, right? Because Grid was like, well, does he get his third term, right? Like,
yeah, I was being a little tongue in cheek.
If there's a picture of him on the like, if there's like a bad picture of him, they've been releasing a lot of shit recently on the Epstein shit. It's pretty crazy. Bill Gates, holy shit. But if they are like I know. If there's a
person to focus on right now,
yeah. If there's a video or like a picture of Trump doing something like really bad, I mean, he's not winning anything ever again. He's just done. So
no, I mean, I think he's done after this anyway. I mean, my honest opinion is that he's done after this term anyway. Yeah. Like he's done. Like it'll be book tours or some shit, right? Yeah. OnlyFans, maybe.
No. He's not going to run for a third term. He's going to be supporting Vance. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
I think we should.
I guess so. So I guess Ollie. So I was a little tongue in cheek with that because what happens? What would you guys expect to happen if it turns out that there was legitimate election-changing voter fraud in Georgia? What does it mean for Trump? I mean, he can't obviously serve us. He got cheated out of a term.
I honest to God believe that like the MAGA diehards will want Trump to be president until he dies.
Oh, I'm sure that's
they will want to follow through.
I can see the gleam in Gibbs' eyes right now.
There's not enough of them to win.
They will like say that they will say that 2020 was a coup, right? That like democracy isn't real, right? You can't even vote for anything. I truly believe that they will want. Yeah, I mean, there's people who say that right now. So, like, yeah, if it's proven to be true, yeah, I think we see a civil war and like.
This is wait a minute, Georgia alone. Even if it's true, Georgia alone isn't enough for Trump to win the election.
Yeah, sure,
that
but
state was close, but not.
But that'll feed the fire.
I was told it wouldn't happen at all. It never happened.
Hold on. I really want to finish with Ollie.
Engaging with your
yeah. Okay, good. I want to finish with Ollie here. Ollie, look, so I don't know, man. Like. Ultimately, if Trump is in the Epstein files, I mean that's horrible, man. Like who wants that? Who wants that?
Well, I'm just saying it can't be that you're just eating shit, right? It has to be that like you have to recognize like what you supported, what like people what you fought against kind of frivolently, right? And while and then you have to contend with the fact that the Dems and the left were right.
Right. So, but it's the same thing as if I backed Bill Gates when he was pushing the jab and wanting all of you guys to just go along with it. And he was doing like if I was on Bill Gates's side then, and it comes out that Bill Gates is literally giving his wife antibiotics without her knowledge. Yeah, that's insane. Like how
I'm unvaxxed, by the way, just so we're clear.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's good. I got you.
Bad decision, Ollie.
Nah, love you.
If it is the case, like I would just as quickly. I mean, look, I have no problem condemning Trump on a lot of different things. He is a complete fucking degenerate, right? Like, I say the same thing about other presidents. I literally just said I'm never surprised. I'm actually surprised that people care so much about the sex lives of presidents because they're powerful men who attract women who they then fuck. And there's nothing we can do about it. I would love it to be the opposite, right? I would love,
man. It just feels weird coming from that statement. I hear it to be true. Like to an extent, I kind of think it's true. It's like, what do you expect of these guys? It just kind of sounds weird coming out of the conservative side.
Right. Well, really I condemn degeneracy, but I have to acknowledge that it exists.
Yeah.
Right. Like I can't put my head in a fucking pillow and go, no, it doesn't exist. No, I can't fucking do that. So do I want them to be better? Do I want them to be humans? Do I want them to act like the statesmen that they ought be? Well, maybe, but throughout our entire history, I don't care which leader you pick, they probably fucked a bunch of women.
There's more to decorum than like what he did when he was 20 years old. That's not what we're talking about. Trump is different.
No, I'm talking about leaders.
Genghis Khan. Genghis
Khan fucked a bunch of them.
Alexander the Great probably fucked a bunch of men too.
What a
and
crazy
women.
place to start.
Fair enough,
is
right?
Genghis Khan.
I mean,
So,
tell me,
like,
you know,
King fucking all of them.
I want to refocus on the actual topic. So like my problem here, and maybe I'm misunderstanding what you guys are saying, and if so, then help me out here, right? Because maybe I'm missing something. Okay, all right. So after the election, right, 62 lawsuits were filed by Donald Trump and his cronies, right, over the election process, right, over that. They lost all of them. 30 of them were dismissed, like for having a lack of evidence or a lack of standing, or like, and they were dismissed by Trump appointees. Well, many of them were dismissed by judges appointed by Trump because there was just no evidence there. Like, okay, where's your evidence? And there was just none. So like, it's like I keep getting told that this hasn't been adjudicated yet, right? But it seems like it got a lot of adjudication. Now, maybe I'm missing something. Again, I'm not.
What
point does it not be transparency anymore? Like if it's 2040 and we're talking about 2020, it's like, well, you know, we just want to be sure. Like you got
once the fraud is found, then it will have been transparent.
No. But yeah, in seriousness, like you have to.
Blackwood gives away the honest game. Like that is pretty much the pathway.
You have to acknowledge the point where you decide that, like, oh, okay, this isn't good.
Okay. This is the problem I'm having this. All right, you know what? I'm gonna just call space spade. Trump's probably just as corrupt as the Dems, and the old neocons are probably just as corrupt as fucking them. They're all corrupt motherfuckers. Hold on, let me just. They're all corrupt. They're all bad guys. They're all bad guys. There's no good guys. Maybe I'm the bearer of bad news. They're all pieces of shit. Okay. All right. Cool. Now I guess we can all agree on that. It's one thing we go. Well, here's what's happened.
I mean, genocide Biden is a bad guy.
What's happened?
Yeah.
Sure. What's happened? And a lot of Republicans.
That's pretty cool, actually.
And they mean some things other than what I mean. But a lot of Republicans have referred to the Dems and the Republicans that have been in office for a while as the uniparty, right? Because it's the neocons, the neo-libs, they're working together in cahoots, and they've got the systems established. And like I'm sitting here going, I want to see how deep this rot goes.
It's called the Zionists.
Hold on, Trump. Maybe it is the Zionists. I don't know. Maybe it's the Saudis. Who knows? It could be all of them fuckers in cahoots. It could be the Illuminati. I don't know. I got questions, right? And so when y'all go, oh, it's been investigated 6 times. I don't trust those fucking investigations. They seem sus. There's a magic number. I don't know what it is. Or there's maybe a quality of it. Maybe it is they find fraud. Maybe they never find fraud. But there's something that has not been done in my mind that is convincing yet, right? And I keep seeing new things that keep coming out that are like, I was told for years, one thing. Like Medicaid for illegals. It's told that. Now, listen, Prime is honest. He's not a liar. He says, I openly want Medicaid for illegals. That's how they should do it, and we should be able to talk about it. Instead, what they fucking do is they subvert the American voters, and they make these illegal systems where they give them the fucking Medicaid, or they give them this other bullshit. And then they have this other shit where they legalize and bring it in. I was told none of this was happening. Turns out all of it was happening, right? And now I'm going,
sex change operations in prison.
Hey, told that didn't happen. We all laughed at it on a panel together. Guess what? That happened. It was a thing. Kamala advocated for it. What was it? The ACLU in 2019. That was what it was. Yeah. And she advocated for it. And so I'm sitting here going, okay, I keep getting told this shit's not happening, and it's blatantly true. And so now I think they're going in there, and we have some people that are a third group. It's these new populists, and they have a very big incentive to go and find real evidence. But if they don't find anything, they don't have the power to maintain this, gotcha, we're going to bamboozle them with some fake shit. They don't have that entrenchment like the Dems and the old neocons together did. I just don't see that. So I think it's kind of a thing where, yeah, I think we need some more investigations. I'm not satisfied with what's been done. But I think there is a time where I go, okay, that's enough. And, and we're not there yet.
Yeah, but I guess that's my problem, is that I don't understand. And maybe I'm misunderstanding something, and I'm not trying to straw man you. I'm not trying to do some gotcha, right? Yeah. Like, I don't understand why that time is it now. That we've had not just these lawsuits, right? We've had this has been adjudicated so many times, within the media, reporters have gone
I'll build a bridge with you.
Go ahead, sure.
I was ready to say, you know what, I'm done hearing about it, Trump. I was done. I was ready. I think 4 years, that's enough time. You had some people power, that's fine. But then all of a fucking sudden, all this fraud shit's coming out. All this shit's Doge, and this other fraud stuff's come up. And it's just like, now I'm going, oh, Maybe even Walls in on it. This is the vice president candidate of the United States for the Democratic Party. That's a high-level Dem. If Walls is in on this, or as tangibly knows, how deep does the right go? Were they, over here putting this election thing go? I got questions, and that's just not been answered. And I think now
be indicted on this.
How did Walls get on this? Sorry, like Walls.
Hey, there was a YouTuber who said that there was one Somali, so
Walls.
Like, I don't get how
justified
Walls is made it known by whistleblowers that they were
Walls
made
is actually Somalian
crimes,
right?
and that they chose not to act against it. Like,
so the steel man here is the reason why Tim Walz is stepping down is because the agency that he oversaw, the Minnesota Department of Education, was found by the state auditor's office to be negligent when overseeing grant funding to various different organizations.
And we're just now finding this out.
Which were able to take advantage of that in order to scam the American taxpayer. And that is directly responsible for Tim Walz stepping down from office, because it actually is a scandal when the state auditor's office, the nonpartisan auditor's office, is saying that you're...
exactly. All right.
So what Gibbs is saying is, okay, so we have evidence here of, Gibbs, I think, makes a stronger claim that there's like some kind of willful participation. I think at the very least you have negligence. You have negligence by Walz, which is again why he's stepping down. Could there not be something similar where the leaders who are responsible for overseeing this were negligent and allowed the fraud to happen? I think that's the point. That
no. But that's part of the point. That's a move. I'm just I'm not going to put this on you, Gibbs, because you didn't come out your mouth, right? But it seems like Lactua, they'll be moving the goalposts. That's like, okay. At first, Democrats stole the election. Now it's Democrats.
But I'm not saying
the election.
I'm not saying
again. I'm not putting this on you, Gibbs, right?
Yeah.
They didn't steal the election. Instead, right, there was some sort of level of fraud that happened underneath them that they were negligent about, and then that's what like caused the election to like.
Well, no, it's not necessarily incompatible. So when the claim is the Democrats stole the election, there's like two possible ways you can interpret this. It's like the higher level organization was planned this out and was responsible for it, or there is the other possibility, which is that the higher level organization
or significant factions within the thing.
Sure, or the higher level organization or these leaders of significant factions were either negligent, cast a blind eye, didn't do proper enough vetting, blah blah blah, and there are maybe more radical agents that were able to get away with fraud in a way, but the Democrats essentially maybe not effectuated but facilitated.
With zero evidence for this, we just believe it.
No evidence.
Just because it's relevant. Did you guys see that?
Evidence is not evidence of absence.
Nick Shirley talks about you.
Yeah, he said I didn't condemn Charlie Kirk. Me and Andrew.
Oh yeah, well, he's
like, I didn't see the
also
video,
delusional.
but I
he's
don't
just not a very
believe,
bright person. Like,
call me biased, but I don't believe that fucker.
He said that you didn't condemn the shooting.
Correct. Yeah.
Hey, I'd be happy if I was you. That's free publicity.
And then Andrew was like, "Wait, you didn't? Did you see that video? Because he for sure did, and I did too." And then he's like, "I didn't watch it. I didn't want to."
People were arrested for
kind of Chad, right?
In Minnesota.
It's kind of not.
You should get like a one-on-one with him. I think that'd be good.
I think you might have a different opinion if it was about you.
No, I'm saying that facetiously. Yeah.
No, I know, for sure.
Go ahead.
Anyway, I'm just saying I don't fucking trust that little worm a little bit.
Does Andrew not like that?
I was just pointing out, like, when we talk about, like, wow, all this crazy fraud stuff coming out, like, the reality is there was an investigation and people were arrested for fraud in Minnesota, but it happened under the Biden administration. Trump hasn't made any arrests because they haven't been able to find it.
Just started.
And it hasn't, and almost none of it's related to Somalians. I think there may have been like 2.
Oh, no, that's not true. That's not true.
Bruh, come on.
No, I'm pretty sure of the actual arrests that have happened.
Have you been drinking the Flint water?
Hold on. I actually know this. Of the actual arrests, it's like over for like Feeding Our Future. That's like over like 100 something, and like 90% of it's Somalian. 100, yeah.
Now we know. No, but you see how we can deal with details and specifics.
But
now?
It wasn't.
Yeah, if you go into the details, this is like
Wait, why didn't you say anything that Gibbs said wasn't true? Why now where we have this energy now?
Okay. I want you to bro, hold on.
Let me make
Stop. I call the belief delusional. Are you willing to say that this belief that it's not mostly Somalians is delusional too?
No, I don't think this.
I will remove all my hold on. I will remove all my emotion about this if you just say that you're being delusional right now.
I don't think I'm being delusional at all.
Okay, well then now there's a conflict.
I think it's a little.
I want to say the person the person arrested for the largest amount of fraud.
I'm de-aggroed now.
I'm not even doing the race thing, but if you talk about, I think it was a white woman over it was like
with Feeding Our Future. Yes, she was involved in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say. So yeah. I just think it was some weird stuff.
And her business partner was a member of the Somalian community, and most of the people arrested were members of the Somalian community.
Going on, and the Biden administration figured it out.
I do think that per capita.
Hold
on. Let's talk about the percentages.
I'm gonna give so you're right on a per capita basis. It was disproportionately Somalian. I will give you credit on one thing you're saying, because one thing you're saying is true, that it was the Biden's DOJ that handled a lot of the prosecutions. So. That's true.
Yeah, because of the ones that have already happened. There's new shit going down. Like, act like there's nothing happening. Where the arrest, bro? The investigations are just starting. This is like 3 weeks old.
It doesn't take that long to make an arrest, dropping it. Like if you have like if it's dramatic.
Why are we hearing about it?
There was $100 million
some of these cases
in fraud
take years
in
to build, bro.
The state budget of Minnesota is like
he's going to be vindicated then, guys.
Hold on, some of these are widely complicated. Some of these years, like you go all the way down and you just find one layer, and there's a second layer, and it's financial crime. Sometimes it takes a while to figure this shit out.
It is like an onion, you're right, Gibbs.
I know. It's a smelly nasty one. It is very many layers. Shrek taught us that.
And the thing is, when Trump's going to go out of office, no one's going to be arrested, and then they're say like, "Oh, well, it's because Trump didn't have enough time to figure it out." Like the cult just keeps moving.
Well, that's why he has to be president until he dies. He needs time to solve all this shit. He
probably doesn't have much longer, anyways.
It's totally possible, by the way, that like this shit does not get wrapped up by the time that he leaves office. That doesn't mean anything.
But then like there's nothing though. He has
no. We hold on. We already know. So I've actually read the auditors' reports, and like very consistently, and also the investigators with the Department of Education, and it's not just like this specific instance. Like I'll bring it up for you. There's literally like a letter from like the chief investigator saying this is a major, like these scam daycares are such a big problem. They're opening faster than we can close them down. This is a consistent problem where we're hiring people to go like find that shit and close it down, and they're just like they keep popping up over and over again. This is widespread. It's a consistent problem. Right. It happens at very high rates in Minnesota. These are nonpartisan reports.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, I don't know why we can't agree. Wait, hold on. I don't know why we can't agree that disproportionately, it seems like that Somalians do seem to be running some sort of scam in Minnesota. However, hold on.
Impressively running scams.
One, that doesn't speak to all Somalians. We don't have to be racist about it. And two, it seems like this was largely taken care of on a federal level before fucking Nick Shirley got involved. Or not on a federal level.
We don't get to have that conversation whenever we say any of the elections are stolen, and we don't have to be specific about it.
Sure.
We don't get to talk about the niche specific. So I'm not having that conversation. I'm not being fair.
All right.
We've been getting into specifics this whole time.
That's my opinion.
Don't worry. I'm going
camera, but he's like unusually long fingers.
I'm going to collaborate.
It's just the way your camera makes your hands look.
You look normal.
No, he's got big Chad hands. That's what that was.
I know. That's what it was like weird when he was like waving around.
Yeah. But anyway, so I'm going to collaborate with a collaborator here. All right.
Yes.
Oh shit.
That makes you a fascist, Prime. Now I get to
you. You're a hand washer of fascism.
Speaking of hands,
how pathetic you got to be to wash the hands of the hand washer? Holy shit! The bottom of the totem pole, dude.
It's like a bunch of like a dirty dishwater, right? Like it just comes down.
That's who you are.
Ball washing.
But or ball washer, even worse. Thank you. But no, to our friend Nick. No, I agree with you here, right? And again,
call me Nick.
Sorry, did I say Nick?
All white people look
I
the
do
same.
apologize.
All white people look like Nick.
That's fair.
Wow.
I apologize.
Me and Nick are both Mormons.
He meant Mr. Shirley. Go ahead.
We grew up in like this same area.
Are you Mormon and Jewish?
Yeah, I was. Well, my dad's Jewish. My mom's Mormon. So
how the fuck did that happen?
That's crazy, man.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I got
that's gonna be a good story.
I feel like some rules.
Half of it makes it to heaven based on South Park.
White.
Exactly.
Also, a shout out to my friend Gibbs. Okay, right? Yes, it can be the case that like an ethnic group gravitates to one particular type of scam, right? Like the criminals within that ethnic group, right? Like I love my Italians, But I think we know, right? There are certain things that certain members of the Italian community, not them all, right?
It's racist.
Were attracted
to.
There is literally no difference between every Italian
anything this entire
and every Swede.
Lactoid stands against racism.
I stand against racism.
Listen, La Costa Nostra bad.
But actually, but we see these patterns, right? Not just in illegitimate businesses, but we see them in legitimate businesses, right? We see like
Jews.
Koreans come in, right, and do like the nail salon thing, right? That's the thing that happens, right?
Yep.
Like people form networks, and then when their people come over, right,
with home health care facilities,
bring them into the networks. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna keep that out. I'll keep out of that, right? But like they bring people into their network. That's just how that works, right?
Yeah.
And so I can make other larger statements, but now I'm getting in real big trouble. I'm not gonna say it. But I agree with you. Basically, that's what he's trying to say. Is that like there are networks, right? And in the Somali community, it seems like from these investigations that within their networks, for those who wish to be part of a illegal activity, or those who just had no clue what was happening, right? They were a part of a child care scam.
Yeah.
Simple.
It looks like there's 98 defendants, 85 of whom are Somali descent. 64 defendants have been convicted, none of which have been under the Trump administration.
Which is exactly what I said. Mostly Somalian and under the Biden administration.
But you see how I dealt with the specifics of it, and then we've done it just feels gross after this.
You just got to believe me, and then you'll be good.
But hold on, are you saying the argument was there's no new cases opening, which we know is not true.
It doesn't seem there. According to, there doesn't seem to be any.
But it has been. But how long has the Shirley video been out?
I know investigations have been happening.
No, the fucking Shirley video didn't go anywhere.
Bro, what I'm saying is it was kind of the catalyst. I'm not saying he was.
No, wait, hold on. No, this is gonna
now we're finding all sorts of stuff.
This is gonna piss me off. There are, as he said, like 100 cases of investigating these daycare frauds because it's a real issue that like sometimes they get subsidized by the state and then they don't have the kids and there's fraud going on and it's a way to extort fraud or to extort funds. And we know about this and it's been part of these investigations for years.
Well, hold on. You want a new case?
Nick Shirley didn't do shit.
Oh, I'll give you a brand new. I'll give you a brand new case that I think is directly tied, based off chain events to this. Are you ready for it? Ilya Omar is being investigated. And that's a new case, and it's directly tied to the Shirley video.
You're right.
And now we have the financial stuff. Yeah.
Hold on.
That's no investigation under Trump now.
What? Yeah. So hold on. Like, what's the financial stuff you're talking about?
Done and done. He's gonna Shirley made one video about Minnesota.
Her husband had like something like a 1,200% like return investment rate against the market, and then some of these places like her wine company don't even exist. Like, so there's all sorts of stuff like coming out.
This is not true.
This is a new investigation.
This is not true.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, because we've already one.
We're not going to focus on the fact that the Muslim owns a wine company.
To be fair to Prime, I think that it's fair to just assume that everything Gibbs says is a lie.
You don't taste it. You never like taste the product. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's not true. What happened was, right? For those who are unfamiliar with government documents, right? Like there's an error of this is a misunderstanding, misattribution of like these government documents. So like Ilhan Omar, as a representative, has to declare her holdings, right? Right. So she has to do that on the form. On this form, it not only is her holdings declared, but it's her husband's, right? Right. And on that form, right, it talks about like what their investments are. So he puts in he did invest into these two different companies. Like one was for like 2.5 million, another one was for like 1.5 million, something along those lines, right? But like the size of the company, but like on the form there's a range, right? So like it says how sorry, excuse me, the results that we're given, there's a range, right? So like how much these investments are worth, right? It's like between 500,000 and like 1.5 million, and then then 1 million, and then like from there it's 1 million to like 2.5 million. So what happened was there's these two investments that fall in these two different categories. What Republicans did is that they added those two categories together, and then they added up to the maximum. So now, like, oh, now they've just gotten $3.5 million. Where did that $3.5 million come from? Right? That's not what happened. Literally, what her husband did was simply invest in these two companies. He does not own the two companies, right? And then the Republicans are falsely claiming that now, like, Ilhan Omar is a millionaire because she has those investments, and that means she owns the company and she has that equity stake. She does not have that. That's a lie. That is not true. Ilhan Omar still can't. She can't pay back her. She still, at least hasn't paid back her student loans of like $60,000. She is not a millionaire. These were just equity stock investments and like true ventures. That's all that was. That's what that was.
I want to say he is a stakeholder in the venture capital. But I say he doesn't own the entire company, but I don't think it's just like a. I don't think it's just like a. Like he owns a couple stocks. Like I think he is like a partial owner.
Yeah, he's an investor. Yeah. He's an investor. He's an investor.
He's an investor, but he still owns a percentage, not like, you know.
Yeah, he doesn't own.
Yeah, they're basing it off of the entire venture capital firm is worth like $20 million. So they're like accrediting all $20 million to him, even though he owns like a percentage.
Yeah,
he's a partner.
What percentage? Oh, a partner, like a major percentage, then, right?
No, I don't think he's a major percentage at all. Actually,
well, that's how usually a partnership works. Is you have to hold a significant percentage of the ownership. You know, if you're in that kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a standard. What? You don't think that's true at all?
Well,
in a venture, in a capital firm, or like a law firm.
How you define major? No, like what do you consider major?
I don't know, a significant portion, more than 2%, probably. I would say, yeah, especially when it's a new firm like that. I mean, I guess the real issue is, you know, it seems sus, and I'm going to tell you why.
See what
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. It's not just two companies. There's questions about the wine company. It doesn't even exist, apparently. You know, and also I think Ollie actually hit the nail on the head earlier. And I think I can't say it better than what's his name. Corruption is only bad when it doesn't include me, right? Whatever info she's got, this insider trading shit. Her husband, he did an outstanding job. I'm mad that we don't have this info. And guess what? We need to go and investigate this bullshit so that everybody get this info. So like, it's a problem. And I want to see how deep the rot goes. Y'all are telling me it's not a problem. Sorry, not
$3 billion this year.
Yeah, but hold on.
He's never made that much money in a year.
I openly said earlier that they're pieces of shit. Hold on. I openly said they're evil pieces of shit. But they're a new group that's like come in and taken over at least enough power with the Republican Party, and they're upsetting the system. They're shaking the table. I think it's good to shake the table sometimes.
Bro,
and let's see the rot.
Donald Trump has made more money last year than every politician in history combined.
Gibbs, I got a real question for you. Are you not tired? Like, do you not get tired every day? Because these
I'm exhausted of my money being fucking spent on bullshit. That's what I'm exhausted by.
I'm pretty sure there are substances maintaining Gibbs' energy levels.
Yeah,
didn't it just come out? He's like a $500 million investment from like Saudi Arabia. No, maybe it wasn't Saudi. It was.
I gotta look up schizophrenic medication. That's the thing.
It was a country we did like a favorable deal with, and we figured out that he had invested $500 million into Trump's company.
What are you on? Risperidone, right, guys?
I think that's a sedative.
This is
great conflict of interest, and then like people say like
nothing by
he's a businessman. Like, why do we get away with like he's a businessman? He's a businessman.
Yeah, he literally just made $1.4 billion. According to a report, and then
wasn't that a legitimate crypto?
Company? Yeah, and it was private.
Legitimate crypto,
crypto that the president pushed out.
So it was
pretty obvious that was something to invest in, right? Or get out quick, right?
There was a quid pro quo episode. I think what our friend Bam is talking, maybe he's talking about something different, and if so, I apologize. But like, I think you're talking about the latest report now, where there was just a $500 million dollar investment into Trump's crypto. And then Abu Dhabi was then allowed to use AI chips they had been previously banned from because of their ties to China.
He also pardoned CZ. He had a number of.
Listen.
He also had he put all of the top 100 donors, and he attended an event. He said anyone, like, while he was president, or maybe the RNC nominee.
Yeah, but Prime, you just brought up Abu Dhabi being tied to China. This is like incentive to get them away. Just like with BRICS earlier. I brought this up at the very beginning of the show today. I was like, oh, he got this deal with India to stop buying Russian oil. They're a key member of BRICS. It's in the fucking name, right? They're pulling away from Russia's influence, and they got a new trading deal with us with zero tariffs. Like, this is kind of this whole thing. It's like, okay, I'm going to do the crypto. We're going to push in crypto. Oh, this company's going to get involved. This country's going to get involved. Hey, okay, maybe you come with us instead of China. It's all selling. Like, I just don't like, why is that bad? Especially when it's like mainly on the private market after they're like legitimized. I just like, as opposed to, we got insider scoops that nobody gets. And we're gonna
why is it bad that the president is pushing a meme coin that Americans are investing into, and then they could also buy access to the president through means of like X amount of donation gets you a dinner or gets you a conversation or gets you a so on. Like the guy is running
literally every president does that.
No, presidents don't have Memex space.
So presidents shouldn't be able to have
direct access. They don't have streams.
No, they shouldn't. That's actually the thing. Presidents aren't supposed to have.
Sorry to do this thing, but fucking Jimmy Carter sold his fucking peanut farm.
The fucking beer, Billy Beer.
That's his brother.
He sold his brother's beer.
Are you going to bring out the myth that he sold beer on the White House lawn?
I don't think he sold it on the White House lawn.
Okay,
like the fact, I wish he honestly, I wish he would have. I wish he would have. That would have been based.
That actually probably. I mean, I could see.
I just want to very important clarification.
The fact that Trump had Elon working within the government, but also was pushing his Teslas and advertising for Tesla like crazy. Like this isn't. These aren't good things that the president are doing. If we just want to do good or bad, these are bad. These are bad actions.
And then he was caught on camera with a Saudi member of royalty saying that like, oh hey, we should have a meeting with Eric to establish the business. Like it's a little fucked.
Bro, I know you're not saying this with a straight face after all the Biden shit with Ukraine. Like, I just
see that's why me and Prime come at this with a fuck Biden perspective too, because I hate this whole.
Oh my god! What the fuck did Hunter Biden do?
What aboutism?
The president of the United States or the vice president of the United States son is going to have, like, you're going to want to, they're going to get offered to be on board.
Christ.
If you're the son of the vice president of the United States, you absolutely are going to get invited to, like, that's actually a legitimate thing. You're like, oh, you have connections to the United States government.
There were multiple reports that every time Hunter Biden was asked to get Joe on the phone, like he was like, I don't want to talk business. I just want to see how you're doing. He wasn't able to get access. There was no access given.
Did you know that senators' kids get into like colleges preferentially? Like, yes, those things happen.
There's benefits to being a senator.
I sent you an article on the thing I was referring to.
No, with the Abu Dhabi thing. Yeah, I looked into that as well. Just to be clear, it's not. It's World Liberty Financial, which is run by Trump family members, but not Donald Trump himself.
It honestly pisses me off.
If you guys don't have a problem with Billy Beer, then I don't see a problem with this.
Or Omar's husband making all the money, but not Omar.
Oh yeah. Now the problem is him making money at all. Okay, yeah, great. But anyway, when we're talking about like corruption, that's the play, right? That's always the play. Hey, like you want to do a business deal? I'll consider it, right? Separately, right? And completely don't consider this connected. My son here, he needs a job, right?
Yeah, 10% for the big guy.
Son, what'd you say?
He's talking about
10% for the big guy.
Hunter Biden's more corrupt than $3 billion.
Yeah, exactly.
But he did this outside the government.
Would that be an example of the Hunter Biden situation? Would that be the example of corruption that Biden took part in? Because that's what Republicans were saying previously, right? Biden took part in the corruption. He was part of the scheme.
Yeah, and it's convenient that we're over there now, which would be, Lactoid's point kind of thing, I'm sure.
I don't know what you mean. Oh, you mean for like over in Ukraine?
In Ukraine, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's a possibility. Whatever. I couldn't put it past them.
We could buy 20 Greenlands.
Immoral. So 100%.
20 what?
Right. But anyway,
we could buy more than 20 Greenlands with what we've given to Ukraine.
But Lactoid, you agree, right? That's how graft usually works, especially like in some like bumfuck.
Look, I'll say this. I'll say this. I agree. It's suspicious to the same extent that I would I'm okay with people looking into it, just like I'm okay with people looking into anything, right? I think that's good. Okay. I'm just saying that it's fair enough to bring up the point. It's not proven though that Trump masterminded some kind of like quid pro quo. You give me this much money, and I'll, do XYZ for your country. At least not him personally. Surely I'm for sure he does that kind of negotiation when it comes to like
his
tariffs.
Family couldn't have done that, right? Like his family, like it would require Trump to take the action, right? The money would come in through his to his family members, right? I think it was in the article, it was like $137 million flowed to the Trump family.
Well, they bought a stake. Abu Dhabi bought a stake in the company.
Yeah,
which there could be absolutely a financially like from the investor perspective, like, okay, Trump just won, this company's going to get really valuable. I want to buy a big piece of it.
Can I ask you a question? Was it like the company like named, and was it all above board, or was it behind, like, was it like through shadow?
I put the article in the chat, so you can take a look at yourself. So it's right there. It says, according to the journal, Wall Street Journal, the agreement saw roughly 187 million flow to Trump family entities and 31 million to the Witkoff family entities, because they're also deeply involved in this as well. Steve Witkoff. So he bought a $500 million stake within Liberty Financial. Yes. And I'm guessing to buy the actual stable coin there. That makes him, I believe, 49%. Yeah, 49. He has now a 49% stake in World Liberty Financial. So he has the second biggest investor there. So yeah, man, like that's a lot of money that just flowed in. And then coincidentally, those like extremely valuable AI chips that you couldn't get your hands on before, because supposedly national security, I think the whole excuse is bullshit any which way, right? I think they probably should have had access to those chips, right? But still, like all of a sudden now we don't care about that. Those chips are now in the hands of people who are close to China. Apparently, we don't care about that anymore.
Trump has even confirmed, Trump's has came out and done policy based around, if you give me enough money, you can have whatever you want. Like he has the gold card, like for citizenship. Mm-hmm.
That's not for him.
Where does that money go to?
No, but I'm just saying that this is the way. This is like we're not making a stretch to say that this is Trump's personality.
Wait, what's wrong with
that? Hold on, no. I am fine with the idea of like, let's try to like enrich the country. That's literally his job. I think it's fine. I think it's also fine.
By buying citizenship?
But the kind of you can't do that. No, stop. You can't do it where like, oh look, he's got the personality to try to enrich the country. Therefore, doesn't he also have the personality to try to enrich himself?
It's not about enriching himself. That's I'm not talking about the enrichment.
That's the accusation.
That's the accusation I'm making is like you're saying that like, we have no reason to believe that Trump connects access to money, like the amount of money you give him to the amount of access he's willing to give you. And I'm like, no, we do have a track record that shows Trump believes that there's an amount of money that grants you access to things.
I want to point out how based the
H-1B visas. He's like, there's a million, you buy $1 million one.
Hold on. So there's some things that H-1B uses that there's debates about. But I want to talk about the gold card for a second. This is so based. I always look at things like at a perspective, like, okay, what would the other side do? What's the worst that happen? I'm actually okay with, the Trump admin coming in and saying, okay, we're going to choose who, and if they have the $5 million, who gets to come in to be a citizen right off the jump. I'm okay with that. I'm also okay if the Dems come next and they do the same standard. We get to choose who we like that comes in and they pay the $5 million to get it. Because, God damn it, $5 million a pop. That's a pretty good hit. Like right each time, that pays for a lot of shit. Like, and if we have people they're going to get citizenship. That means they probably have a vested interest in spending that money here. I think that's pretty based, even if it's like not people that I support politically. I think that's all around pretty good thing. Like, why would y'all not like that?
I'm pretty sure if you can prove 1 million in investment in like businesses, useful business to the United States, you already can apply for citizenship. Like Trump's gold card just has his name on it.
Well, then you don't have to worry about this SPA loan shit, right? Now you're a vested citizen. Like, boom. Now you're like, that's another advantage. Like,
I thought the big issue is that it's just not reasonable for anyone to want to spend $1 million to be an American citizen when you can largely do that. You could like pay a lawyer to do it relatively quickly, much faster.
Okay, so you have the like
much cheaper.
Is it much faster?
Money's cheaper.
Sorry, I don't know if it's
my understanding is it's expedited. That's my understanding.
Yeah, it's
going to be way more expensive, but it is expedited.
I'm fine with the policy. I just don't think it will make any money.
Yeah, it's not making too much money. I don't think
that's my opinion.
Well, Well, some.
I mean, I don't think it has to make too much money. I think I'm fine with the policy. I'm
fine with it too.
care.
Yeah.
Do you? I'm about to say you have. I think you would still have to pass every other part of the process. You wouldn't want
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, you do.
I'm about to say you.
I would be okay with removing. I'd be okay with removing all the requirements.
Murderer.
Really?
They're like, oh, I have a.
Just having like a Saudi fucking official just go, I want American citizenship.
No, we got to have some other.
Why not?
Some Russian oligarch.
If they can all get together and for every citizen pay $5 million, I mean, at that point they deserve us.
No, it would just be like key people. Like
you would grant Putin American citizenship even if you never used it. Just like
yeah,
have access.
Of course. Hold on, it's not.
You're salivating a little too.
Wait. What records is Putin going to get if he buys American citizenship?
I mean, whatever he wants. He's an American citizen.
I can't. As an American citizen, I can't just like go to some government agency like I demand your documents. I can't do that.
Do you think Zelensky's done that? He owns a house in Florida.
It wouldn't surprise me, but I didn't know that.
But anyway, it's not about that. It wasn't about the gold card. I was just speaking to the point of like it would be like even if you do like the Trump does business deals, his net worth has doubled in the last year. Do you think that's a coincidence, or do you think it's directly related to his presidency?
I mean, he's been pretty open about it. Like that's the difference. He's
that's
like,
not good. If I kill people in the open, it doesn't make it a better kill.
I'm gonna hard disagree with the liberals here. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say that fucking Bernie Sanders made millions of dollars as a senator.
No,
he
this is
$3
billion.
Wait, hold on.
$billion.
Oh, $3 billion.
I don't care about millions.
But hold on. But here's the thing. What I'm saying is why.
Never mind.
This is why I think it's important. I think it's why it's important to talk about the open aspect, right? Is so okay. If he goes, I'm going to push crypto, and then before that bill gets passed, he buys a bunch of crypto, right? And you go, oh, okay, maybe when this bill gets passed, it's going to go up in price, and everybody knows he's doing this, and everybody's arguing about if it's a good idea or bad idea. That's a lot different than I got some insider info, and I'm using my connections here in the Uniparty to make sure that I'm enriched while the rest of the Americans are getting fucked. That's a big difference.
What the fuck do you think a rug pull is? You can buy so hard into a.
You should have just got out sooner. If you got out sooner, you wouldn't have got rug pulled.
Got it.
It's not just rug pull.
Great financial advice.
Like every corrupt financial thing.
I didn't invest in the crypto.
I don't think there's evidence that Trump actually ran a rug pull.
Exactly.
Intentional.
No. I'm saying what Gibbs' description there. I don't think that Trump did what Gibbs just described, but what Gibbs described is a fucking psycho.
Yeah, I disagree with rug pulls. Just to be clear,
yeah,
I think rug pulls are bad.
No. I know. I'm just saying. Trump didn't do what Gibbs said, but what Gibbs said was fucking crazy, and I would say that that's a rug pull and that's psychotic.
Oh, so because his family invested in something that he was pushing policy wise, so his family shouldn't be allowed to invest in shit. If they know, dad.
Way to describe it.
I'm pretty sure Trump's point has been.
Hold on. If it's public information, which it was that they was pushing crypto policies, give America a new
privy to
bank.
The votes.
No. But he's putting this out there publicly. This is a policy he's going to push, and he's doing it. How far down is
privy to the way that it's
cousin
voting.
Bob that's never met him. That's five people removed.
No.
Trump. Should he not be able to say
immediate family?
He knows if it's getting passed or not.
Oh, so why?
Yeah. Actually, that's how we would do it.
We all know if it's getting passed or not. It's public info.
No, you don't, hon. What if
you know at the same time that Donald Trump?
He's not the one directly investing. It's his family.
Yeah, who he talks to all the time.
No, not just who he talks to. I'm about to say the Trump
doesn't talk to his family all the time.
I mean, okay, let's just say that's true. Let's just say y'all have 100% fact that's true. Let's just say that's true. All right. Let's just say use my logic real quick. It's so simple. Anybody can.
All right, hold on. Everyone imagine they're a raging lunatic.
No, it's easy. No, it's more simple than that. It's more simple.
Okay, go ahead.
Give me too much credit, right? Listen, if Trump goes, I like crypto. We do crypto. Okay. And then that's the policy push. And it's got to go through Congress. This is the thing he gets elected. And he says after he gets elected, I like crypto. We do crypto. All right. It goes to make sense that, hey, maybe when they announce Trump coin, it might be good to get in this early.
Can you not
it's going up and
imagine
Could you imagine? Would that make sense to people?
The president of the United States. What is our standard?
Wait, hold on. Why didn't he put Trump coin in the strategic crypto reserve if he was corrupt? Can you answer that?
What a weird. Wait, hold on. There are ways that he's not corrupt and ways that he is corrupt.
Strategic crypto reserve.
And I'm just saying.
I promise.
Wait, hold on.
If he could,
hold on. Why did Donald Trump?
Trump doesn't know what crypto is.
Why did Donald Trump just murder his Joe Biden if he's such a fascist?
Well, according to BAM, apparently he was trying. He was trying earlier.
Oh my gosh! Hold on. I already argued this.
I know. Hold on. Let me elaborate a little more. So I know it was a little bit tongue in cheek, but yeah, the Trump coin, I think I've already said before, I have a problem with it. But it's not like bold-faced corruption in the extent that Trump coin is being like utilized or implemented in government programs.
I agree.
But insider trading.
Hold on. I do think it's
corruption.
I'm pretty terrified by the way that he pardoned CZ. That he pardoned a number of key crypto factors.
Quid pro quo.
Okay, let me present something to you.
Right. I agree. It's not clear cut, but it is worrisome.
No.
Sure.
They literally invest. CZ and then the rest of them literally invest in the Trump coin or some other way of getting Trump money, right? Or they give it to his lawyers. That's another way of doing this, right? They give it to people within his circle, and then all of a sudden they got a pardon. Interesting. Hold on. That has millions of dollars flows into the Trump circle, and then pardons magically appear. But lactoid, it looks funny, but I can't be sure. I don't know.
Can't do it, man.
Hold on. Let's just say. Let me just build a bridge with you because I tried doing this earlier.
$10 billion,
right?
And he says he decides his own settlement.
So we all know the famous quote by Jefferson, right? About like the tree of liberty need to be watered with the blood or whatever. Patriots. All right, I'm going to propose a like real dark, pessimistic version of this, right? And it's that sometimes we're going to have a little Nurgle's rot. We're going to have new corruption to give rebirth to the country, right? And I think right now, let's just say Donald Trump is all these terrible things you'll say he is. He's corrupt and stuff. But here's the thing. Good. I just heard on the panel earlier today, before this panel, they told me, they go, hey, he's coming in, he's a populist. They took over the Republican Party. This is a new group. It's not the same Republic. All right, I think to some extent that's true. This is a new group of corrupt sons of bitches. They're at least open with this shit. And I think sometimes it's good to have the new corruption come in here, like the flies eating the rot. And they go and see all this old rot set up by this system that's been here for 100 years. And it's time to shake the fucking tree and burn it down. Just like in California, fires, but like when they're normal and natural, and not exacerbated by human development, it spreads the forest. It burns, spreads the seeds. This is a fire.
This is the issue.
Burning out the rot.
This is the issue.
The new America rise, and I think it's a good thing.
This is the issue with extrapolating key corruption in government to essentially all government, because when that occurs, a certain disaffected minority sees one person being corrupt openly and goes, "Well, see, that's the change we need." It's psychotic. I don't even know what to do with it. No, there are people in government who aren't corrupt. There are people who are actually trying to get shit done, who are actually care about their population. I know that's a hard take. That's a hot take in America specifically right now. But I don't know. I don't think that the change we need is an open corrupt person. Maybe just not corrupt people. And I think that there's a good enough. There's a sizable proportion of Congress right now who isn't corrupt, who genuinely cares.
But I know. I'll believe it there. But Gibbs, I'll try.
I don't know if anyone agrees, but all right.
Steelman your
I agree to a certain extent.
It's like it's a new faction. They're going to set fire to the old.
I think they're all taking.
So Gibbs, you want Trump to be in the Epstein files. You want more and more. Like the more that Trump is in the Epstein files, the better.
No, I don't give a shit if he's in the Epstein files because if he is, throw him in the wood chipper. I like his policies. I like that it's a new populist.
You don't care about that.
I like, but because I care more about the policy changes, right? Yeah, I care about like the movement overall. Like I like a lot of what's happening.
I want ICE murder.
Everyone, let's not forget what Gibbs said a few weeks ago, right? He said like if there was a pedophile, he was like if he suspected someone was a pedophile,
true,
right?
He's a pedo protector. He was doing
business with, right? That he would not report them to the
get stitches, right? He would not report. He would protect his friend.
If he thought that a person was abusing a child,
well, do snitches get stitches? Is that true or not? Okay, so you would not snitch on your friend who's a pedophile, right?
Listen, I'm not answering.
Listen,
Gibbs, if you were a pedophile, I would snitch on you.
You don't bite bullets.
I do bite bullets.
So do snitches or not? You love the. So do snitches?
If I had undisputable evidence that this guy was a pedophile,
indisputable,
undisputed, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. I would maybe let the
maybe flip a coin.
Maybe.
You know,
maybe exactly. He might be a pedo protector.
This might be. Yeah.
Let's say my best friend.
I'll tell you what I would do. I would cut them all out of my life completely.
Here's just a hypothetical I'm throwing out there. What if my best friend of 15 years, he's a businessman in New York, he's a financier, and
he's a billionaire.
He's one of my best friends.
He happens to have an island.
Right. Yeah. And I fly on his plane sometimes, and sometimes I see little girls, and I go, oh, my best friend is really into these little girls.
But snitches get stitches, so better
get stitches, yeah.
No, you're putting this job on me. Why is it my job to go do the police's job?
Are you for real? Why is it your job to tell the police? I think a crime has been occurred?
My duty is to be my own. I would definitely tell all my friends.
Why was this? Why would we not
so you would snitch?
Children?
No, I would just be like, we don't associate with this person. We don't talk.
Yeah. So if you see someone murdering someone in front of you, you wouldn't tell the police.
I'm not trying to get shot.
You think he wants to get stitches?
Can I just say I'm so glad that society, like just my neighborhood, is not filled with Gibbs.
Your neighborhood is definitely filled with Gibbs. You think that all these people, most people are not going to go to the cops if they see him.
No, I disagree. I think most people want Gibbs as a neighbor. You would be okay.
I think you know what?
You know when they talk about white privilege. This is the white privilege. This is that it is right here.
So you advocate his position, right?
No.
Also not.
No. I just you asked me a very specific question. Would I be okay with having Gibbs as my neighbor? The answer to that question is yes. I am not co-signing all of Gibbs's beliefs on this topic.
You want more people with Gibbs's worldview around, right? As in snitches get stitches, and let's protect the pedos, right?
That particular worldview, not particularly.
Can you just say fucking no?
You just say turn a blind eye. He didn't say protect. He said turn a blind eye. Okay, those are two different things. All right, guys, you need to be specific.
There would be actions that I would take that would not be snitching.
Stop fighting straw men. Stop fighting straw men.
All of a sudden, Gibbs is Catholic, right? And he
look. I'll say this. I generally subscribe to like don't be a snitch or whatever, but. There are limits. There are limits.
The lawyer subscribes to don't be a snitch.
One of those is like
the lawyer. I hope it's like stealing a chocolate cookie. Like I don't know if anyone cares about that, but I think
no, I'm definitely reporting that.
No, okay. Hell yeah. You don't think he?
Welcome to the fucking.
I'm talking about crimes. I'm talking about like in all seriousness.
Crimes that don't really matter.
There are plenty of crimes that I don't think should be crimes that I am not going to report unless I have some kind of obligation to. So if I see a drug deal happening, I'm not calling the police on that. If I see a prostitution thing happening, I'm not calling the police on that. If I see somebody speeding 10 miles an hour over, I don't give a fuck.
Okay,
right?
I agree with.
Okay, stealing a cookie. And I agree.
Stealing a cookie? Yeah, absolutely. Fuck that.
And I agree with you. Lag to it. I agree with you.
Thank you.
However, right, what we're
the child, that's a bit too far. Yeah.
A bit too far.
If it's just abuse, if it's not rape.
Really
go to the wheel chipper. Okay, great.
But if you live in Texas, you don't have to snitch. You just take care of it yourself. If you see them and you have the
what's wrong with vigilantes?
I'm gonna call the police.
You suspect that there's a pedophile.
If you have, say I walk in and you're like, oh, he's diddling Bobby.
If Benny Johnson made a tweet,
bang bang, like we're not.
If Benny Johnson tweeted that this guy's a pedophile, you could go in with your
Gibbs lives in Gotham. I don't think he lives in Texas.
We've seen what your burden of proof is, bro. We know how much it is to
convince
guy you.
In Texas.
What's the Texas superhero?
In Texas, literally in Texas, a guy was running out of the place. And somebody shot him like 6 times back. The guy got off because they said, "Hey, good for him." If I walk in and I see somebody diddling little nephew Bobby, he's getting shot.
We're not calling Bobby.
Oh no, no, I agree with that. No, I agree with that part. That's like defense of a.
Don't agree with that part.
No, that's the defense of a victim. No, actually, I do agree with that part. No,
why would you let that keep happening?
I mean, you could. No one's letting it happen. That's an option. That's an option.
No. I actually Gibbs is like I actually agree with like part of what Gibbs is saying. If I walk in on a crime currently happening and I'm armed, I am absolutely drawing like on against child.
So
absolutely,
you're shooting the cookie stealer, right, Lactoid? That's what you're saying. You're shooting the cookie stealer.
If there's a chance they get away.
Like, I mean, y'all trying to pin this on like
if they surrender, then they're not going to get.
Y'all are just afraid to take action. Maybe. You want Bobby to get more molested. That's what you're saying.
There was
Bobby.
Okay,
you caught me.
I'm saving Bobby.
But like there was a case where my understanding of this case is that there was an individual, an older man, right? Like, well, he was like in his 20s or something, and he was having relations with this with a young boy, right? The young boy's father came home. The young boy's father beat the man within an inch of his life, right? Yeah, that seemed justified. Like, and that's perfectly okay. If I was on a jury, if he got unfortunately taken to court, absolutely. I would say you're not guilty because he was defending his son from a diddler.
I am worried about. I'm worried about evidence quite a bit, but I will say, if you've got
the whole preset, the whole premise is I have indisputable evidence. That's what y'all tried to get me with.
Yeah, if you see it, then it's like, all right.
Yeah, so why do you want to wait that long?
I'm not gonna. That's not gonna be where I hang my hat.
Well, so but Gibbs, here, let's change it a little bit. Let's say that you come to believe that your neighbor is diddling kid. You don't have like definitive proof, but you have enough where you're like,
I would not be snitching. I would be fucking telling people don't interact with them if you trust my judgment.
Wouldn't you want the police to go like investigate to see? Because that would be my thing. Because I don't have the. Hold on. I don't have
no actual evidence.
No. I'm saying that you have enough evidence to like have a reasonable belief. You just don't have enough evidence to know for sure.
Wait. No. Wait. Hold on.
He's always a youth pastor at the church.
Hold on. Everyone stop. Gibbs, you see in 2020, November of 2020, you see someone filling out a ballot with the wrong person's name.
No, they
submitted it to the mail. Are you calling the cops?
No,
should we investigate that?
We can come back to that in a second, but I want to go dive down this one real quick because this happens all the time, and I'm critical of churches.
Let's vote her for that.
Like, hold on, we have youth ministers who marry people the minute they hit 18. That's fucking suspicious, right? Like I hear that from the lefties all the time. Oh, this youth pastor. Oh, maybe he got them to marry at 17. That's even more suspicious. All right, cool. Let's investigate that. That would be something y'all can investigate. That's a legal document. Oh, it happened the day after they became.
No, I don't want to know. I don't want to go off that. I don't want to go off that hypothetical.
That's okay. So that's
the hypothetical I was thinking of.
Than what you're saying to me.
No,
the specific hypothetical that I want to go down is, let's say you the neighbor's kid like tells you something that makes you suspicious that abuse is happening.
Yeah, but kids say weird shit all the time.
No, I understand. I understand.
Kids do say the darndest things.
This is literally my point. I don't fucking care. No, this is my point. That kids do say darndest things. But you're right. Sometimes kids lie. But sometimes kids are telling the truth, right? So
but they also sometimes say things weirdly, like, "Oh, I slept over at."
Sure,
that's what the investigation's for.
Hold on. If some kid comes up to you, I don't know how many like people in your family have like nieces, nephews, or like
I have
my age.
Nephews,
they're all like about like we're all the same age. All these people are having like little kids. Kids will come and say weird stuff. Like I'll give you an example. We're sitting here one time,
and if my niece, I would report right away.
Says something about like, "Oh, Johnny touched me," or like, "Oh God, that's bad," right? And then
I'm not talking about that. No, I'm not saying.
And he's like, "Oh, tag."
Stop. I'm not saying. No. I'm not saying that.
But when it's like, "Oh, they're playing tag."
No. You're right. That specific scenario.
And you're talking about neighbors.
Gibbs.
I'm not trying to talk to my neighbors.
He doesn't want to bite the bullet.
This is real suspicious.
He doesn't have any background.
Let me finish. My neighborhood has lots of kids run outside. People sit outside. Everybody sits in the
front porch. Lactoid lawyer.
They go around. I wave. I say hi, neighbor. Hi, whatever. Oh, nice bite, whatever. And then I drive off. I see an interaction I want with any of my neighbor's kids. right? Because guess what? I'm not a pedo.
Stop.
Now, if the fucking kids start coming up to me and talking about
He doesn't want to bite the bullet. He's going to go on
talk to mom and daddy about that. I'm going to leave.
Gibbs. Hold on. I get it.
Why do you want to talk to your neighbor's kids?
I'm not talking about any of those scenarios.
Why are you talking to your neighbor's kids, bro?
I'm talking about a different scenario. Let's say you're outside enjoying a cool drink on a hot day because it's.
Fuck off. Talk to your mom.
Hold on. Okay, you're gonna say, okay, well, let me explain the scenario, and then we'll see if you'll actually still say that. The kid walks up to you with a visible black eye, particularly bad, and then you say like, "Oh, how'd that happen?" And he says, "Daddy got mad." And then you say, "What do you mean?" Okay.
Say that again.
Don't make him mad again, and maybe offer the beer.
You're psychotic. You're fucking crazy. I am.
So you think Gibbs is going to be a fun neighbor?
He will still be a fun neighbor, but I don't agree with this.
You're like, Daddy gave it to me, and then you find out, they were playing, they were like on bicycles, and Daddy let him ride a bike, and he fucking ate shit.
Isn't that awesome that in his hypothetical, he's always right? It's always fine. The kid's always chill.
My point is you're offering up the worst case, and like the best case could be equally true. Like, you got a black eye.
No one's saying that
it is worst case.
Fucking investigation is for.
Hey, hold on. Even if it is the worst case, it's not my fucking business.
We can change it. We can change it. We can change it.
Wait, hold on. The worst scenario is that he's a demon kid and the parent is beating him.
It's not my business, and that's not.
There's no cases in which the kid doesn't deserve it.
What if the kid walked in and was beating his fucking little sister to death? Like, you don't know. You don't know.
This is what Trump supporters are like, by the way.
Let's make it clear cut.
Just be clear to everyone.
Just ask me to assume Daddy was just like, I was drinking and I beat him within a pole.
Let's make it clear cut.
You asked me to assume one crazy thing.
Let's make it clear cut. Let's make it more clear cut. You're in assuming one of your many friends' apartments. You come across literal CSAM. You're not going to report that anymore.
No, he'll beat the shit out of that, but he'll kill him.
No.
We'll just
they're left alone, as in you just happen to be whatever. You're house sitting, let's say, for example.
I'm not gonna house sit.
Find some DVDs.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Do you understand?
Can you just engage with the hypothetical?
He can't because he knows he doesn't want to.
Wait, hold on. I don't know any children.
Okay. So your house
how did you just happen upon?
That's not my nephew's name.
This guy just—are you saying I just walk in his house?
My nephew's
name.
That's hypothetical.
Did I eat breakfast? I didn't eat breakfast this morning.
He's literally too afraid. Yes. Okay, Gibbs, do you recognize that in reality there are people that exist that house sit?
We could just burn his house down.
You
like, I don't get there yet.
Okay, so bite that bullet. As in, if you're house sitting for a friend, you come across literal CSAM, you're just going to burn the house down, right?
Hold on. I'm not saying that if anybody asks. First of all, I'm just saying don't have me house sit if you have CSAM over because that's
not hypothetical.
Hey, to the audience who's committing CSAM,
don't have me at your house.
Don't invite Gibbs.
Don't have me at your house.
Gibbs over.
Bad things will happen to your house.
Yes. So you would agree in the hypothetical.
That's not going to be my message. Is stop committing that shit.
God will smite you. He might have a lightning strike.
You would not
worry about the
babysitters. Just say it, Gibbs. You would not report CSAM.
There would be consequences for said person.
Oh my God! Fucking Batman over here.
I'm not Batman. I'm just saying, don't invite me over to CSAM. Why do y'all want the government always involved?
He's worried about himself. He's like, what if I have to see that shit? Oh,
I don't want to see that nasty shit. Like, fuck that. It's gross.
Right, not the kid who's being like, God.
But hold on, you're driving me crazy.
I need to differentiate myself from Gibbs for a second. The police would get a tip if the black eye kid came over.
The black eye kid, but this is my thing is y'all are saying immediately. Oh, the kid comes over. Daddy gave me a black eye. And while I'm outside,
I didn't say that. I said literal.
Just chilling outside.
You would not report it.
We'll get to you in a second.
Snitches get stitches.
We'll get to you in a second. That was the scenario I was given. Child walks up to me, my neighbor's kid, who I don't fucking try to interact with at all. Right, I'm sitting here outside my front yard, and he just comes up to me and says, "Daddy gave me a black eye." No other context, and you're asking me to just assume, "Oh, Daddy's an ass beater." Like that's not what I'm at. No, hold on. Not only that, you're asking me to call. Hold on. Now you're asking me to call Child Protective Services to possibly go ruin this person's life or like cost them
to investigate.
Hold on.
I've contacted CPS.
Hold on. Cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and if there's no record and this thing happening, guess what do you think's gonna happen to that kid after that? Oh, well, they're definitely going to get their ass beat now. Like, so you're just causing more ass beatings. Like, it's just like, why do you want this for this kid?
Well, if the dad wasn't abusive before, he's for sure abusive.
Right.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
In fairness, Gibbs lives in Texas, so his nearest neighbor is probably a mile and a half away. So that kid's walking a ways.
I see this at Walmart. You don't need to tell me.
No longer engaging.
You see it at Walmart?
Bro, people get their ass beat at Walmart all the time. Or you fucking don't see that at Walmart? Then you live not living that close to the border.
You're not.
We're not talking like a spanking. We're talking about like a giant welt on their fucking head. Like a serious injury.
Yeah, maybe he fucking fell because daddy was.
Maybe he did. He did. Or maybe he was hit in the head by a fucking pipe.
Oh my god! Let's walk this through. Let's walk this through just real quick. They've never had a child protective services visit ever before. They've never had any history of this. Okay?
They're gonna have one.
Now so let's just say this dad is the biggest,
say that about every abusive kid in
honest,
they never
ass
had
beater
prior
ever.
visits.
He's taking his kid out back, breaking paddles over his ass, right? Beating him to death all the time. But there's no evidence before, and they've been smart. Oh, except this one time, little Bobby escaped, right? And he came over and told Papa Gibbs. And now I call. What do you think's gonna happen? When they go in there and this is the only investigation, they don't find any other evidence.
You know,
and
can I just say
this kid's gonna get beat to death? And then they're gonna be like, oh, he fell.
Can I just say that I've got kids? All right, I've got kids, and if I send my kid over to kindergarten, okay, and he's got a welt on his head, and I know it's because he fell and he on the stairs.
That's not my job.
He's an idiot, right? And the teacher genuinely calls CPS because the kid gave a weird answer. I would go, thank God that teacher's checking in on my kid.
That's the teacher.
Genuinely. I would think that. I would think, thank God, even though I'm in trouble, right? The CPS is calling on, I have to justify what's going on. I'd go, I'm so grateful that people are looking in on my kid. I wouldn't, in fact, beat my kid's ass.
Hold on.
That's not my next reaction.
Just to point something out. Hold on. Just to point something out.
Just see the records because he doesn't trust the kids.
But I will say that my kid is not in kindergarten, so it's a hard hypothetical to grasp. Okay, he's actually in daycare right now.
My kid's in pre-K.
No, but hold on. This is the difference, though. This is the difference. No. This is the difference.
Which daycare?
Hold on. This is partially the teacher's job, though. Is they are the custodian of your child for those many hours of the day that they have them, right? That's what their job is. It's not.
And they don't want to get blamed for that.
Listen, it's not my fault.
What the fuck do you think a babysitter is?
Hold on. I'm not a babysitter. If I'm outside grilling
barbecue, your house sitter?
And drinking beer, and this guy comes, hold on.
Being a member of a community is.
Hold on, the hypothetical.
Let's hear it, Gibbs. So you're saying, what about teachers? Go ahead.
I'm just saying, teachers are custodians for the hours that they have the kids there.
Okay.
They're watching the kids. Outside drinking a beer, fucking cooking some barbecue, or just shooting hoops or doing whatever the fuck I want to do in my fucking front yard.
Okay, then swap it for a neighbor.
Doesn't make me a custodian.
Nobody's saying you are a custodian. But let me ask you this: what if the teacher, who's the custodian of the kids, when the teacher reports the abuse or the injury, that just leads the kid to get beat up more?
Well, that's tough tits.
Yeah, I guess teachers also should not report that, shouldn't they?
That's exactly right.
Hold on. The teacher's a custodian. This is the job.
No, but wait, hold on.
We should take that out of their job description to save children's lives.
Lactoid, you know what? This is the same argument that
What about all the ass beatings that come from false
This is lefty lactoid coming out.
This is lefty lactoid. Call the police when you see a child with an injury. Lefty lactoid.
Hold on. This is the same argument.
Call the police when the children are injured.
I want driver's licenses all over again.
This is the same argument when they were like, hold on. They were saying this is the same thing that the lefties were using.
He wants driver's licenses.
It's child abuse. It's child abuse to not give in and cut their balls off. This is what some of the lefties were saying.
No, all you gotta do is disable the Zoom. All you have to do is disable the Zoom.
Out for 2 minutes, and he just starts screaming that leftists want to chop off their balls. What the hell are you talking about?
Actually, hold on. Gives it actually to me. A woman would approach him, right? With a married woman would approach him, right, with a black eye, and she said, "Yeah, I ran to a door." And he'd be like, "Yep, that sounds about right."
That sounds like a woman.
Hey, listen, ask no questions, no lies, bro. Why is it any of my business? It's not my business.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry, we live in a fucking community. We live in a
we live in a society.
We live in a society.
Well, I mean, you do.
There's that liberalism coming out. Who's that fucking high
But no, hold on. This is y'all's argument. Y'all asking me to like do something.
And I love
You're
them,
asking me to do something that could ruin like a family's life based off a suspicion that's not
also ruin a child's life.
Hold on, but earlier
we're asking teachers to do that every day.
Hold on, but earlier y'all were okay with letting the kid keep getting diddled instead of handling yourself. So
Hunter, you probably
we said we were going to call the cops on them.
Yeah, and so what happens while you're calling the cops? If you walk in and see
what happens while
you're going to leave and go call the cops?
In between the time, you could have just shot the guy.
You could have killed him. Saved this kid from trauma.
You would have prevented some diddling.
Oh my god!
Right, but because you want to call the cops,
it leads to less diddling. I get the logic of it. Yeah.
What if the guy gets off because chain of evidence, some other bullshit?
True.
If I just shot him, nothing.
What if they're found not guilty? We can't risk that.
What if he gets out and diddles again?
Wait, what about Dems though? Why can't you do
What about Dems?
There's no downside.
We going wood chipper on this one?
If we just go murder,
Gibbs, come on, Gibbs. Can't you just shoot him afterwards?
Why would I wait that long? Why do you want the kid to get diddled more?
I'm gonna
rate out because it's been crazy. Thanks everyone. So I'm gonna rate out to our relevant. He's watching the panel. We rate out to either attractive white women or cool black guys. One or the other.
Vigilantism in the chat. Vigilantism in the chat.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to send them off. But this has been insane. And bye. Oh my god. Crazy.
That'll be good.